material. The world's top cobalt supplier imposed a 4-month suspension on exports in February after prices had hit a 9-year low at just $10 a pound. The ban was due to expire on Sunday. In a statement, the Authority for the Regulation and Control of Strategic Mineral Substances Markets said that the decision has been taken to extend the temporary suspension due to the continued high level of stock on the market. U.S. President Donald Trump has hailed the attack on Iran as spectacular military success. He warned Iran to make peace or face far greater attacks. He spoke at the White House days after saying he would make a decision on whether to strike in Iran within 2 weeks. Trump called the attack 3 precision strikes on nuclear facilities at Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan, referring to Iran as the leading state sponsor of terror.
Everybody heard those names for years as they built this horribly destructive enterprise. Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. Tonight, I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated.
Finally, responding to the U.S. strikes, Iran confirmed the Fordow nuclear site was attacked, but Iran's state broadcaster denied the country had suffered a major blow. The BBC's Barman Kalbasi has more.
It is a huge shock because that was a hope that there is a breathing room, and now suddenly this attack. We've heard from one official in Iran saying that there was no nuclear material in these sites and they were moved out. Another one said because they were empty, there's no worries about radiation. So that, if true, could be a little bit of a calming point because a lot of people in Iran are worried naturally.
A recap of your top story: an investigation into the tragic incident at South Africa's Macadamia military base in Mpumalanga province is underway. The South African National Defence Force says one soldier stabbed one of his colleagues to death and injured another following an altercation. Now, for any news stories you would like to share with us, please send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa News, I'm Nosipho Zuma.
SABC News. The African Perspective. Across borders, across time zones, on air, online. This is Channel Africa. Africa has a voice, and that voice is Channel Africa. It keeps you.
Good morning and welcome to Tech Africa with myself, Inno Manchidi. I'm with you all the way till 12 o'clock this afternoon, bringing you the latest and most exciting updates from the world of technology. That is what we do right here on Tech Africa. We explore everything from artificial intelligence, coding, to apps, robotics, cybersecurity, and the Internet of Things. If it's shaping the future, listen, you're going to hear it right here on Channel Africa, right? I am not alone. I am with Nosipho Zuma on the news, as well as Franz Masila on tech, right? And I just want to say a huge shout out to Ntsako, who was right here with us, also just keeping us company from 6 to 9 o'clock, right? So shout out to her as well. But right now, like I said, it is time for Tech Africa, which is going to be keeping you company all the way till 12 noon, right? If you just tuned in to us, thank you, welcome. You just missed out on another amazing 3 hours, but it's okay. We're going to start this 3 hours together all the way till noon, right? I'm going to ask you to keep in touch with us throughout the 3 hours. Firstly, if you're wondering how you can chill with us, you just find us on DSTV Audio Bouquet, that is on channel 802. You can also stream us live on www.channelafrica.co.za. You can also find us on OpenView channel 628. I'm just trying to give you all these options because I don't want anybody coming and saying, listen, I am based wherever, and from where I am, I'm not able to listen to Channel Africa. wherever in the world you are most definitely able to tune in to Channel Africa. I can guarantee you that. I can bet you that with my last cent, okay? So just let me know where you are and I can tell you exactly how you can tune in to us. And if you want to let me know where you are actually in the world, please just send me a WhatsApp on +276 340 9126, right? And let's communicate in real time. Send us voice notes, whatever's on your mind, whatever's on your heart. You're more than welcome to send through those voice notes, as well as messages on WhatsApp +276 340 9126. That is where we're at. We'll be reading your messages throughout the 3 hours. If you've got questions, any tech questions, let me tell you, we're going to be speaking to some tech gurus today, okay? We're going to be talking to some serious tech gurus, so please do take advantage of that and send through those messages. It doesn't actually, you know what? It doesn't even matter which field of tech you want to know about, because the way our guests are so versatile today, I'm sure I can get you an answer to whatever questions that you may have. So please do make sure that you get in touch with us on WhatsApp, as well as our other social media platforms. Head over to Facebook. We are there as well on Channel Africa. You can also head over to X, formerly known as Twitter, because I still struggle calling it X. I still say, oh, Twitter, my tweets. On X, we are Channel Africa 1. You can also find us on Instagram. It is Channel Africa 1. Listen, on TikTok as well. Hey, please just make sure that you are chilling with us on our social media platforms, on our different platforms where you can be listening to us. You have absolutely no reason to be with us all the way till 12 o'clock and beyond. I'm going to be back to tell you exactly what you've got to look forward to on the show, but I can promise you that when it comes to anything technology, AI, Internet of Things, coding, robotics, listen, we've got you. We have got you. You can hold me to that. But for now, allow me to take a short musical break. When we come back, we're getting straight into what to expect today, and we're going to get ready for our first interview of the day. Good morning.
Mornings made better with Peter and Asanda on Rise and Shine, weekdays 6 till 9.
In recent weeks, East Africa has seen a disturbing rise in human rights violations. In Kenya, digital activist Rose Njeri was arrested under the Computer Misuse and Cybercrimes Act after creating a tool for citizens to oppose the Finance Bill 2025. Meanwhile, in Tanzania, Kenyan activist Boniface Mwangi and Ugandan lawyer Agatha Atuhaire reported being detained, tortured, and sexually assaulted by security officers.
East Africa needs a reset. We need to get back East Africa to where the founding fathers are. You know, when President Nyerere and his colleagues, Jomo Kenyatta and the Ugandan counterparts fought for independence, they fought for independence to get Africans out of poverty, to get Africans out of slavery. The leaders who took up power have since gotten into regression.
Neto Agostino, co-leader of the United Green Movement Party.
Mornings made better with Peter and Asanda on Rise and Shine.
Je, una jambo lolote akilini mwako? Je, una shauku kuhusu maswala muhimu? Na je, una maoni ambayo unataka yasikike? Kweli, hili jukwaa ni la kwako. Piga simu au tuandikie kwenda WhatsApp namba alama ya kujumulisha 2760552594 na tutakupigia simu.
Mtangazaji wa habari zetu za Afrika Kusini mjini Johannesburg.
Hivyo unaweza kuwa mshirika kwenye matangazo yetu. Sio mazungumzo tu, ni fursa yako ya kuchangia maoni yako na kushirikiana na jumuiya ya wasikilizaji wanaotamani mtazamo wako. Tufuate kwenye mitandao ya kijamii. Tembelea tovuti yetu www.channelafrica.co.za na uwe tayari kushiriki na kuchangia maoni yako kwenye Channel Africa. Channel Africa, mtazamo wa Afrika.
Africa on Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Kudala ngibona ufika komakhelwane ulethe injabulo nemfudumalo washintsha impilo zabo shintsha izimo zabo ngaze ngazibuza ukuthi yini ngami ngimemeze mhlawumbe uzongizwa na kuyabanda pendlini ungekho sengithangizidele vele ngimemeze kudala ngikulindile wathando sekudala uhambile thando zongikhumbula nami thando sekudala uhambile oh awuphinde futhi ubuye ngakimi sabathenga qalaza tengalalela angibona usayikhumbula indlela yezekhaya ngiyazi ukhona ngiyazi uyaphila ingakho ngizibuza ukuthi awuzwa yini sengithanga imemeze mhlawumbe uzongizwa nami kuyabanda pendlini ungekho sengithanga izidele ngivele ngimemeze dala ngikulindile wathando sekudala uhambile
Speaking, singing, questioning, rising. Wake up with Rise and Shine 6 till 9. Peter and Asanda as they bring you breaking news, sharp analysis, and the voices that shape the day. At mid-morning, we get on the move with Palisa and Benjamin, digging into the African lifestyle, people, and the things that make Africa smile. 12 till 1, Africa Update with Lulu Kabu, getting in-depth, powerful stories, and the perspective you won't hear anywhere else. The Upside, 1 till 4, live and real, with Tepuho Likweleni and Nompumelelo Ngubeni. Tame Ngubeni talks money, Africa in business, 4 till 5 p.m. 5 till 6, we put on a little bit more color. Vue d'Afrique with Joël Moteba. We go to East and Central Africa and find Darubinia Africa with I Am Shakif. Madapiri gives us some life. Zochi Tika, 7 till 8 p.m. Maria Mokumalo comes in 8 till 9. We get some useful knowledge. Kalodiscopia, 9 till 10. We take a look in Africa and beyond. Africa World Hour with Sipiso Makwetla. And we close it up with some love. The Hotlines with Shailen Dikumana, 10 till 12 p.m. on Channel Africa. Across borders, across time zones. On air, online. This is Channel Africa. Africa has a voice, and that voice is Channel Africa. It keeps you in motion, speaking, singing, questioning, rising. Wake up with Rise and Shine 6 till 9. Peter and Asanda as they bring you breaking news, sharp analysis, and the voices that shape the day. At mid-morning, we get on the move with Palisa and Benjamin, digging into the African lifestyle, people, and the things that make Africa smile. 12 till 1, Africa Update with Lulu Kabu, getting in-depth, powerful stories, and the perspective you won't hear anywhere else. The Upside, 1 till 4, live and real, with Tepuho Likweleni and Nompumelelo Ngubeni. Tame Ngubeni talks money, Africa in business.
Tando, right? Tando is a Zulu word for love. And what I said is we all need love, don't we? Especially on a Sunday. They say Sundays are for lovers. But Sundays are also for tech, okay? And I did promise you that we're going to be having amazing, informative conversations right here on Tech Africa all the way till 12 o'clock. If you just tuned in, you are still on time, a little bit late, but we forgive you. My name is Inno Manchidi with you all the way till 12 o'clock this afternoon. Today, we're going to be talking to the CEO of Africa Data Centers, Mr. Adil Al Yusuf, about the growth of the data center business in the continent of Africa, right? And we're also going to be having a conversation with business analyst Tumelo Mabasha. where we're going to be talking about the evolution of IT in the past decade in business and education. And then in the second hour, we're going to be talking to founder and CEO of Analytics X and Spaza Eats about two pillars of focus in their company, which is fintech and e-commerce. He is Mr. Taripani Banks. We're then going to conclude our conversations with Mr. Deepu Jacob, who is a cloud specialist and IT project manager at Huawei Technologies South Africa. Now, when I tell you that I am bringing gurus today, I am not even playing, and I'm not even going to be modest or humble about it, because did you hear that? That's why I've been asking that you send through those questions on WhatsApp so that we can definitely have those gurus and specialists that are coming in to answer those questions for you. So please do start sending them through on +27634091126, right? So if you've got any questions about the evolution, the changes that are happening in education, as well as business where IT is concerned, business analytics, data specializations. If you've got any questions about cloud, listen, I am bringing those people data centers. It's going to be very interesting. But for now, let us take a short break. When we come back, we're going to be talking to Mr. Adil Al Yusuf about the growth of data centers, the business in the continent. So stand by for that conversation. It's going to be another interesting one. Let us take a short break. When we come back, we'll be talking to him.
Get the news, music, and lifestyle of Africa on Channel Africa, the African perspective.
50 anos atrás, Moçambique ergueu-se. Do peso da guerra e dos sussurros de liberdade, ao grito da independência, não foi fácil. A luta foi longa, o custo elevado, mas o espírito inquebrável. Hoje, Moçambique celebra 50 anos de liberdade. Do Rovuma ao Maputo, do Zimbo ao Índico, das margens às aldeias. Isto é mais do que um aniversário, é uma lembrança. No dia 25 de junho, junta-te a nós para honrar o passado e brindar o futuro. Moçambique @50. A jornada, a alegria, o legado, numa perspectiva africana. Este é o Caleidoscópio de Canal África, com Remo Samo e João Yabalá.
O surto da cólera em Angola tem causado grande preocupação, afetando já mais de metade das províncias do país. Simultaneamente, a Agência dos Estados Unidos para o Desenvolvimento Internacional, USAID, um dos maiores doadores mundiais de assistência humanitária, decidiu não priorizar os países com maior incidência de malária. Para discutirmos as causas do alastramento da cólera em Angola e os impactos dessa decisão da USAID, convidamos o Dr. Jeremias Agostinho, médico e mestre em saúde pública, para partilhar a sua visão sobre o tema.
A doença, nesse momento, representa o maior risco de saúde pública que nós temos. Nos últimos anos, a nossa preocupação esteve sempre centrada com os casos de malária, os casos de tuberculose e também de infecção por VIH-Sida. A forma como, em pouco menos de 2 meses, os casos de cólera vêm aumentando, acaba por representar, nessa altura, um dos maiores desafios que o país tem. É expectável que, nesta fase, o número de casos venha a aumentar.
De segunda a sexta-feira, das 20 às 21 horas locais, este é o Caleidoscópio de Canal África.
Till 5 p.m., 5 till 6, we put on a little bit more color. Vue d'Afrique with Joel Muteba. We go to Eastern Central Africa and find Darubinia Africa with I Am Shakif. Madapiri gives us some life. Zochitika, 7 till 8 p.m. Mariamo Kumalo comes in 8 till 9. We get some useful knowledge. Kalodiscopia, 9 till 10. We take a look in Africa and beyond. Africa World Hour with Sipiso Makwetla. And we close it up with some love. The Hotlines with Shailen Dikumana, 10 till 12 p.m. on Channel Africa. across borders, across time zones, on air, online. This is Channel Africa. Africa has a voice, and that voice is Channel Africa. It keeps you in motion, speaking, singing, questioning, rising. Wake up with Rise and Shine 6 till 9. Peter and Asanda as they bring you breaking news, sharp analysis, and the voices that shape the day. At mid-morning, we get on the move with Palisa and Benjamin, digging into the African lifestyle, people, and the things that make Africa smile. 12 till 1, Africa Update with Lulu Kabu, getting in-depth, powerful stories, and the perspective you won't hear anywhere else. The Upside.
Brings us to 23 minutes after 9 o'clock Central African time. Good morning if you just joined us. Thank you so much for choosing us this morning. We are Channel Africa, the African perspective. I did promise you a conversation with Mr. Adil Al-Youssef, who is the CEO of Africa Data Centers. And as the CEO of Africa Data Centers, Adil Al-Youssef is responsible for driving the growth, innovation, and strategy of the data center business on the continent. And his mission is to meet Africa's accelerating demand for data and digital infrastructure, a task he approaches with optimism and determination. We talked to him about ADC and its positioning in the data center space. Good morning, Mr. Youssef.
Good morning.
Are you well this morning?
I'm very good, thank you. How about yourself?
I am very well. Does the line sound better now?
It does, thank you.
Okay, I promised you that it would. Okay, now before we get into the meat of our conversation, I just want you to explain to the layperson what a data center is and exactly what data centers do.
Sure. Well, data centers are really the bedrock, the foundation of the new economies. A data center can be viewed as a location where companies store IT equipment, so think computers, think storage disk, think switching items for networking. So those equipment need to be stored in a facility that provides a reliable, secure environment so that those equipment can function all the time, 24/7, without interruption. And they are extremely important in our civilization because, as we all know, our lives depend on technology. So for us to access our technology, that technology needs to be available, and it's available in data centers.
Sure. Now, what is the role of digital infrastructures such as data centers in preventing organizational disruptions, such as business continuity and data security?
Well, as we know today, businesses have moved more and more services online because customers, all of us, want the convenience and the security of accessing services online. So when we go online to consume entertainment material, when we go online to educate ourselves, when we go online to access services such as banking or government services, we want that access to be secure. We want it to be available all the time, and we want it to do the job to allow us to achieve the outcome that we want to achieve. And from that perspective, providing an environment where businesses and organizations can run their services in a secure manner, in a reliable manner, for several types of use cases is extremely important for what we call a digital transformation. And digital transformation is nothing more than making sure that whatever we consume as services is both available physically but also available digitally.
And how is ADC ensuring redundancy and power resilience through their facilities and infrastructure?
As Africa Data Centers, and as a company that has been actually operating through our group, the Cassava Technologies Group and the Econet Group on the continent since the turn of the century, since 2000, we have invested heavily in digital infrastructure across many areas, fiber networks, data centers, cybersecurity and cloud solutions. And this investment is really made to ensure that these services are reliable and available. Specifically for Africa Data Centers, currently we run 6 data centers across 4 countries in sub-Saharan Africa. And in South Africa in particular, we run 3 different data centers in Johannesburg and in Cape Town that allow us to provide 3 different centers which are redundant. They can actually mirror each other and provide a reliable and available service to our customers and to their end customers. Moreover, these data centers are designed and are operated at world standards. For example, all the power setup is redundant. We call it N+1, where it means we have an equipment and we have a redundant equipment to it on a live configuration, as we call it, where both of them are always available and always available to the facility. And that actually translates into all the other equipment in the data center. And this setup, the design, the operation, and the geographic spread allow us to ensure that we provide 100% availability to our customers.
Now, you are in an industry that thrives and survives on dependable power sources. How do you survive through challenges such as load shedding and the financial implications thereof?
Well, it is a fact that our industry really relies on energy. And energy is actually the bedrock of the digital transformation setup that we're all undergoing in our economies. Issues such as unreliable power, load shedding, and the like really have a significant impact. However, we are obviously very, very pleased and very happy that over the last several months we've seen a significant reduction of these disruptions. But that notwithstanding, in our facilities, as I mentioned, we always have several redundancy layers for every equipment. So, for example, on the energy front, all our facilities have solar panels deployed around them and on the top on their roof, which allow us to supplement, in some cases, up to 25 to 30% of the energy needs of the facility. We also have, obviously, generators that allow us to supplement power when we have disruptions. We also have 2 separate power lines coming into facility from 2 different, sometimes municipalities or 2 different power stations, which allow us to now reduce the likelihood of both of them being impacted. And finally, we have been working with the government and with regulatory authorities to really consider the data center facilities as critical infrastructure for the country, to actually allow us to make sure that to minimize as much as possible and sometimes hopefully avoid any disruptions to the power supply coming to those facilities.
Sure. And now, how is ADC addressing the increasing demand for reliable and secure digital foundations across Africa?
That's a great question. As we all know, artificial intelligence is really the significant driver of digital transformation that we are witnessing today, and we're going to witness into the coming few years. Artificial intelligence has the promise of transforming businesses, on transforming economies, and allowing Africa, just like mobile money, just like other technology investment, to leapfrog our challenges and really capture the benefit of digital transformation. And artificial intelligence cannot run without secure, scalable, and reliable data centers across our continent. And from that perspective, we, as a group, Cassava Technologies, to which Africa Data Centers belong, announced actually just last month the deployment of the first artificial intelligence factory on African continent, where we will be deploying several thousands of GPUs, which is graphical processing units. These are processors that allow actually to run the advanced workloads for artificial intelligence, and those will be housed in the Africa Data Center facilities and would allow us to offer state-of-the-art, world-class artificial intelligence solutions to businesses, to government agencies, and to consumers across the continent. And from that perspective, as Africa Data Centers, we are scaling up our investments, and the increase of our capacities in all our existing data centers, but we're also expanding into the new countries on the continent so that we can avail these these artificial intelligence services on African soil and ensure that African data is processed locally, and AI solutions, artificial intelligence solutions, are also tailored to the need of Africans.
And what is the impact of localized world-class data centers on economic growth and digital transformation on the continent?
It's really related to the previous question. Localization is very key. Currently, only 4% of the data of the world is processed in Africa. But Africa accounts for 25% of the population of the world, and in the next decade, that number will go to 30%. So we really need to be intentional in ensuring that data that comes out of Africa is processed within Africa, that we can harness this data, making sure that it's secured within our African borders, making sure that we build solutions which are tailored to our issues and our opportunities, and really making sure that we take a hold of our destiny. And from that perspective, this localization of data, what we call sovereign processing of the data, is a crucial component of the development of our digital economies in the future. And that data can only be processed in data center facilities which are world-class, which are available, and which are actually located where they should be. And from that perspective, Africa data centers and other data center operators within the continent have a big responsibility in ensuring that we continue investing on this front to avail these services so that African data can be processed locally, so that solutions, the local startup ecosystem across African countries can actually be can be able to access data which is hosted locally, and that allows obviously faster processing, that allows more security, and allows also customers to trust these services because they know that they're processed within their environment.
Now, I want us to go back to ADC a little bit. What makes Africa data centers stand out from other data centers that are out there?
Well, first of all, we are, as I mentioned earlier, we are an African-born, an African-grown company. We started in the early 2000s as Econet Group, and we grew through our different brands, Liquid Telecom, and now Liquid Intelligent Technologies, Africa Data Centers, Society FinTech, as really the leading technology company across the continent. So that heritage that we have, which was really started by our founder and executive chairman, Mr. Strad Nasir, gives us a very strong African heritage and roots into Africa. But we have shown time and time again as a group that we are looking ahead into the future and really taking steps to make sure that we are ready to ride whichever technology wave that we need to take to support our customers, our business customers and all customers across the continent. So this heritage really gives us an edge in that we understand the continent, we understand our customers, and we are not afraid of as I said, really betting on technical investment to make sure that we offer the right services to our customers. And the example that I gave with the investment we are making in the first AI factory on the continent is a testament to that. The other thing that makes Africa Data Centers stand out is really our footprint. We are currently, as I said, present in 6 different locations across the continent. We host all types of customers in these facilities, from local enterprises, local government agencies, to what we call local global hyperscalers. So these are the Googles, the Facebooks, the Amazons of the world, who are all located in our data centers so that they can offer their services as close as possible to customers. So these these two features, along with obviously 100% availability of our services and state-of-the-art design and operation of our services, makes us really offer a first-class data center solution to our customers on the continent.
Sure. I know that you just named a few. You just named Google, but are you at liberty to share a few more businesses that you host as ADC?
Well, if you think of any large enterprise in a country, chances are that they are hosting our facilities. Because as I mentioned today, all businesses of every type they require access to a data center facility that allows them to run their digital services. So obviously it will be a very long list, but I mentioned businesses of all sizes and types, they require these services, and we are very pleased to be able to offer them these services in our facilities.
Before I let you go, Mr. Adil, I just want to pick your brain a little bit. Do you think you'll be building any Tier 4 facilities anytime soon? I know we might not be ready as Africa, but do you think anytime soon Tier 4 facilities are coming?
Well, actually, we already have a Tier 4 facilities, and actually we are the only ones that run. We're only private organization that runs a Tier 4 facility, and the only Tier 4 facility that we run currently is actually in Johannesburg. In the
wow!
It's really a very advanced facility. A Tier 4 facility, maybe for your listeners, is a facility with an extra level of redundancy on its setup. It's an extra level of security. And Tier 4 facility are really targeted towards a very specific use cases, which is a use case that is sometimes required from financial institutions for a certain type of applications that they want to be hosted in a data center. It's required for some workloads, what we call workloads, which is basically applications that should run in the data centers from a certain public sector requirements. So our Salman facility is such a facility. We are extremely proud of it. It's state of the art. It hosts many customers, and we have plans of expanding it so that we can continue meeting the demand of our customers.
That is truly impressive. I thought you were going to be telling me about a 5-year plan, 10-year plan.
Indeed, that I mentioned earlier. Our 5-year plan and 10-year plan is really to continue supporting our customers through this AI revolution, as I mentioned earlier. So the artificial intelligence advancement, rapid advancement around the globe is something that we are very keen on and very excited about. And I think we all should be very excited about this development. And that artificial intelligence development, as I mentioned earlier on our continent, cannot happen without the availability and presence of world-class, state-of-the-art, large capacity data centers. And that's what we are focused on, as I mentioned earlier. That is our 2-year plan, 5-year plan, 10-year plan, is to significantly increase our footprint, both in terms of capacity and in terms of locations where our services are available, so that we can meet this demand and really ensure that Africa is not a spectator in this artificial intelligence revolution, but is that as a big actor that allows Africa to harness the benefit of AI for its development.
Absolutely impressive. Now, Mr. Adil, where can people get more information on ADC and some of the work that you do?
Sure. Well, on our website, www.africadatacentres.com, obviously on LinkedIn, on Twitter, and on Facebook. Please do reach out. We are excited, as I mentioned, about what the future holds for our industry. We are committed and resolved in playing our role to support our economies, to support our countries, continue driving digital transformation for the benefit of all our brothers and sisters in Africa.
Thank you so much, Mr. Yusuf, for your time, and thank you so much for this educative information. I learned so much, and also very impressed with the work that Africa Data Centers is doing. Thank you so much. Have a lovely Sunday further.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
That was Mr. Yusuf, Mr. Adil, and he was talking to us about some of the work that Africa Data Centers is doing. And listen, when I tell you that I thought I was going to be challenging him when we talk about tier 4, I thought he was going to be telling me that no, it's in our 5-year, 10-year plan. No, he says no, it's currently happening right now. That's where we are at. We're actually the only African company right now that currently has or is on tier 4, which is extremely impressive. Thank you so much to him. And of course, do check out Africa Data Centers and some of the work that they do on www.africadatacenters. And that brings us to 43 minutes after 9 o'clock Central African time. Thank you so much to everyone that is still tuned in right now. If you do have those questions, those tech questions, whatever it is that's on your mind that has to do with tech, do hit us up on our WhatsApp line, +276 3406 9126. We are standing by for all those questions, but also standing by to have those conversations in real time with you. We're going to take a short musical break. When we come back, we'll be talking to Tumelo Mabasha. As I promised you, we're going to be talking about the evolution of IT in the education and business space over the past decade.
Mornings made better with Peter and Asanda on Rise and Shine.
I want the Africa that makes every single African proud of the continent and have hope. And there's so much stuff that's going on that's positive. And if we can just lock into that, Namaganjani, everyone is going to get there.
Where are we going? Where are we trying to get to?
The idea of working together, which is why I'm excited about this new voice.
And the new voice is me, Asanda Peta, broadcast journalist with about 15 years of experience on the radio space.
Welcome, Asanda. I've been waiting for you for a long time.
Were you waiting for me?
I was.
Really?
Yeah, because for 3 months I was on my own.
So be sure to tune in right here on Channel Africa, Mondays to Fridays, from 6 till 9 a.m. Central African time.
If you want to know about your continent, this is the best place to start your day.
Rise and Shine on Channel Africa. From dusk till dawn, Channel Africa Radio is your soundtrack to life.
Yeah, mom.
1 till 4, live and real, with Tepuho Likweleni and Nompumelelo Ngubeni. Tame Ngubeni talks money, Africa in business, 4 till 5 p.m. 5 till 6, we put on a little bit more color. Vue d'Afrique, with Joel Moteba. We go to Eastern Central Africa and find Darubinia Africa with I Am Shakif. Madapiri gives us some life. Zochitika, 7 till 8 p.m. Maria Mokumalo comes in 8 till 9. We get some useful knowledge. Kalodiscopia. 9 till 10. We take a look in Africa and beyond. Africa World Hour with Sipiso Makwetla. And we close it up with some love. The Hotlines with Shailen Dikumana. 10 till 12 p.m. on Channel Africa. Across borders, across time zones. On air, online. This is Channel Africa. Africa has a voice, and that voice is Channel Africa. It keeps you in motion, speaking, singing, questioning, rising. Wake up with Rise and Shine 6 till 9. Peter and Asanda as they bring you breaking news, sharp analysis, and the voices that shape the day. At mid-morning, we get on the move with Palisa and Benjamin, digging into the African lifestyle, people, and the things that make Africa smile. 12 till 1, Africa Update with Lulu Kabu, getting in-depth, powerful stories, and the perspective you won't hear anywhere else. The Upside, 1 till 4, live and real, with Tepuho Likweleni and Nompumelelo Ngubeni. Tame Ngubeni talks money, Africa in business, 4 till 5 p.m., 5 till 6. We put on a little bit more color. Vue d'Afrique with Joël Moteba. We go to Eastern Central Africa and find Darubinia Africa with I Am Shakif. Madapiri gives us some life. Zochitika, 7 till 8 p.m. Mariamo Kumalo comes in 8 till 9. We get some useful knowledge. Kalodiscopia, 9 till 10. We take a look in Africa and beyond. Africa World Hour with Sipiso Makwetla. And we close it up with some love. The Hotlines with Shailen Dikumana, 10 till 12 p.m. on Channel Africa. Across borders, across time zones, on air, online. This is Channel Africa. Africa has a voice, and that voice is Channel Africa. It keeps you in motion, speaking, singing, questioning, rising. Wake up with Rise and Shine 6 till 9. Peter and Asanda as they bring you breaking news, sharp analysis, and the voices that shape the day. At mid-morning,
This is all the way from Senegal. It is Yoson Doa coming through with Birima. I hope you enjoyed that. And if you're from Senegal, do hit us up and tell us how you're loving the show this morning. It is still Take Africa with myself, Inno Manchidi, right here on Channel Africa, the African Perspective. Thank you so much for choosing us, being with us, and starting your Sunday morning with us. We really and truly appreciate it, right? So please do get in touch with us on our WhatsApp. It is +276 9126, right? I promised you a conversation with Mr. Tumelo Mabasha, who is an IT specialist in one of the biggest food retailers in Africa, actually. And as we all know, that information technology has evolved from the classroom to the workplace over the past decade. And with the introduction of AI and advancement in the industry, it is important to keep up with these changes. We talked to him about the evolution of information technology in the past decade and what the future looks like in the field. Good morning, Mr. Mabasha. How are you doing?
Good morning, Ino, and good morning to your listeners.
Do you usually wake up this early on a Sunday morning, or am I getting you out of your comfort zone?
No, I usually wake up early, and do breakfast or just jog in the morning.
Oh, I love that. I love that you're so disciplined. Oh, I would be waking up at 12 o'clock.
I understand. Winter now.
No, Mr. Mabasha, before we get into the meat of everything, I want us to talk about how you got into IT. What did you have to study? And how did you also choose the speciality that you're in within your field?
Okay, so I started having a passion for computers and gaming in high school. And then I studied in IT, specializing in business analysis. That gave me a foundation to understand both the technology and the business needs. So now currently I'm a business analyst in one of the biggest retailers in the country.
Amazing. And what is your role as a business analyst for someone like me that, you know, is exposed to different people that are also business analysts, but in different fields? What is your role as a business analyst in the IT space?
So the role of a business analyst is to do with the bridging the gap between the system users, which we call them the business in the IT world, and the technical team. The technical team includes the developers, the testers, the Scrum Master, so on and so on. So what we do is we translate the business needs into IT solution, and one of the primary responsibilities include requirements gathering, solution design, and testing to ensure that the solution meets the users' requirements, which are our business users.
Interesting. And how has IT evolved over the years from your days of study in varsity to what it looks like in the current day?
Yeah, it has evolved a lot. There's so many changes. So it has gone from the bulky system to cloud-based, and it's changing from manual work to automation. And also now we are doing fast-driven platforms, and we want to access information quickly.
Yes. And how did these changes affect you? You know, have they improved your quality of work from the time you got into the job market to now? And how are you embracing and mitigating these changes?
So now what we're doing is you do upskilling, you take short courses. Like, for example, now everything is moving to the AI, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. So what you do is you have to always upskill yourself, because now in IT, it's a very involving world. So a person must always learning and trying to improve yourself.
Speaking of artificial intelligence, what role is it playing in the changes that are happening in technology, especially in the workplace? I can imagine that you've been around for many years in the workplace. How was it then versus where it is right now in terms of the kind of work that you do, how easier it is or how much more challenging it has become now that we have things like AI?
So AI is very beneficial in us also, because it helps us streamline the task, and also it is improving our decision making, and also it's making us work smarter and faster. For example, we have this Microsoft Copilot, which is one of the Copilot AI tools. So what it does is it will assist you in drafting emails, report, and documentation. So for example, you used to make your own documents. What you do now is like you take all the business requirements, you put it in these Copilot tools, and then it will draft the document for you. It also creates PowerPoint for you. So it's very nice. And also what it does is it also helps in terms of coding. So what it does is it will provide positive and negative testing scenarios to the testers and the developers.
You know, you make it sound so easy, but for people like us, the lay people, I would say, in IT or in technology, you know, these kind of changes, the AIs, the chat GPTs, all of that has been so intimidating. What would you say to someone like myself who just feels like these things are so overwhelming and I don't know how I'm going to survive through this?
So what I can say is that you guys must just embrace the new technology and try to learn, because what it does is it's helping our life. It's giving us information at the speed of light. So it's a good thing to just try and embrace it and then take it.
Sure. And how do you mitigate the risks that may come with AI in the workplace?
So what we do is, like, instead of using the normal AI or the example, the chat GPT tools, which is in open source, everybody can use, what we do is like we create our own in-house AI tools so that people or hackers cannot steal our information. And also what we do is we have strong cybersecurity measures that we use, such as encryption and access control. And also what we do is we also do like regular audits on our roles for authorization for the systems. So that's what we do. Yeah.
And what are some of the biggest advantages and benefits of AI in today's education system in preparation for the workplace?
So for me, I think it's very nice, because now it helps students to prepare for a real-world job, and also it makes education more accessible. For example, instead of you taking a 3-year degree in programming, what you can do is you can use these tools to help you to start learning how to become a programmer.
Oh, wow. So you can actually be a bit ahead of the system.
Yes, you can be ahead of the system. Before you go to varsity, you already know the basics of doing the work.
Amazing.
Which is very nice.
Yeah.
So what I can say to the young guys is like they must start accessing these AI tools and start learning. So I think what we need to encourage the youth is to take a career in artificial intelligence, machine learning, and cybersecurity, because that's the future.
I hear you, but do you not feel like, and I know this is, very controversial, but do you not feel like our jobs are about to be replaced because of all these advancements?
To be honest, some jobs they're gonna be replaced. For example, let's make an example with the help desk, first line help desk. Now, for example, if you call maybe any center or let's for example any systems that help you. For example, instead of speaking to a human, now you're interacting with this chat box.
Yeah.
Also on WhatsApp. So which means instead of dealing with a person, now they're dealing with the chat box. So which means the people who are doing those jobs, they won't have any jobs anymore. And also in terms of IT, the people who used to do manual testing, they're no longer required, because now we have like automation testing, which also we use these AI tools to use to test. Yeah.
Oh, that is giving me so much anxiety. But I guess that's where you come in, where you said that we should rather just embrace it and see how we can include it in our daily lives and our careers rather than stressing and panicking about the fact that it's coming to take over.
Yes, I think for now it's better to adapt with it.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Now, what does the future of IT look like in your scope of work, and how can the younger generation prepare for it? I know you touched on that a little bit, but more in your workplace. How do you think the future's looking?
I think the future is more in cloud and data, and also I think that people should focus on digital skills. And I think in IT you have to always adapt because it's always evolving. So I think that's how the future looks like for us. So we must always learning and adapting to this changing.
Mr. Mabasha, I wish we had more time. Actually, I wish I could bring you to studio because I feel like you speak to a generation that is coming up so beautifully, especially now during the times where they are busy sending in their university applications and everything. Thank you so much for the encouraging words. Thank you so much for showing us that IT and its advancements is not something to be afraid of. This has been such a great conversation.
Thank you for having me, and have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you. Same to you, sir. And that brings us to 2 minutes before top of the hour, 10 o'clock. That was Mr. Tumelo Mabasha coming through with some, great insight. Listen, those insights are so different from what I would usually expect because, we are being taught to sort of be afraid of technology and its advancements and what it has now evolved into. But he's just saying, listen, let's just adapt. Let's learn to live with it. Let's see how we can also include ourselves in it instead of being afraid. Because whether we like it or not, the reality of it is that our lives are going to change. Certain jobs are going to be redundant because of things like technology advancements. So instead of panicking about that, let's now prepare ourselves and say, what do I then do, knowing that this kind of job could in the next 5-10 years be replaced by a machine, and also just for the youth and people that are coming up in this field, how can I better prepare myself to get into the field even before I get into that? Thank you so much, Mr. Tumelo Mabasha. That was really informative. And that brings us to a couple of seconds before top of the hour, 10 o'clock. It is now time for us to get ready for the news with Unosipho Zuma. She's going to be telling us what is happening in and around the world. When we come back, I will tell you exactly what is happening in the second hour of the show.
Get the news, music, move with Palisa and Benjamin, digging into the African lifestyle, people, and the things that make Africa smile. 12 till 1, Africa Update with Lulu Kabu, getting in-depth, powerful stories, and the perspective you won't hear anywhere else. The Upside, 1 till 4. The African Perspective.
Your headlines: Zambia civil society groups outcry over former President Edgar Lungu's funeral, and the UN expresses concern at the US's force against Iran. Thank you, Inno. Good morning. Civil society groups in Zambia have called for an urgent resolution in the matter regarding the funeral of former President Edgar Lungu. His family last week announced that Lungu will be buried in South Africa. Now, this after a feud between the family and the Zambian government. The two sides failed to reach an agreement on how to send off the former leader. The civil society, along with a section of religious leaders, say the standoff is hurting the dignity of the country. Lungu died earlier this month in South Africa, where he was receiving a specialized medical treatment. The family says the details regarding the funeral arrangements and burial will be shared to the Zambian and South African public in due course. Meanwhile, Zambia's President Hakainde Hichilema has cut short a period of national mourning after Lungu's family refused to allow his body to be repatriated from South Africa as planned. The national mourning period initially ran from 8 to 14th June, but was later extended until the 23rd of June, with flags flying at half-mast and radio stations playing solemn music. Lungu's funeral was set for today in Zambia's capital, Lusaka. It will be the first time a former head of state of another country is buried in South Africa. South African police in the Northern Cape have arrested 15 suspects for contravening of the Immigration Act and illegal mining activities. The arrest follows a multidisciplinary intelligence-driven operation conducted by members deployed under Operation Vala Umgodi in the Namagwa and Francis Bard district. Police spokesperson Marabelo Pilani says suspects were found in possession of suspected unpolished diamonds and dacha.
Teams received information regarding suspicious nocturnal mining operations at a diamond site in Quinas. Acting swiftly on the intelligence, the proactive and combat teams tactically approached the identified location and successfully apprehended 10 suspects actively engaged in illegal mining. The individuals were also found in possession of suspected unpolished diamonds.
The Democratic Republic of Congo has extended by 3 months a ban on exports of cobalt intended to curb oversupply of the electricity vehicle battery material. The world's top cobalt supplier imposed a 4-month suspension on exports in February after prices had hit a 9-year low at just $10 a pound. The ban was due to expire on Sunday. In a statement, the Authority for Regulation and Control of Strategic Mineral Substances Markets said that the decision has been taken to extend the temporary suspension due to the continued high level of stock on the market. And finally, the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has expressed his grave alarm at the use of force by the United States against Iran. This after U.S. President Donald Trump said his country had completed successful precision strikes on 3 nuclear sites in Iran, completely obliterating them. Sherwin Bryce Peace reports.
In a statement, Secretary General Guterres called the U.S. action a dangerous escalation in a region already on the edge and a direct threat to international peace and security. He said there was a growing risk that this conflict could rapidly get out of control, with catastrophic consequences for civilians, the region, and the world, as he called on UN member states to de-escalate and to uphold their obligations under the UN Charter and other rules of international law. Guterres further warned that at this perilous hour, it was critical to avoid a spiral of chaos, asserting that there was no military solution, and the only path forward was diplomacy and peace. Sherwin Bryce-Pease, SABC News, New York.
A recap of your top story. Civil society groups in Zambia have called for an urgent resolution in the matter regarding the funeral of former President Edgar Lungu. His family last week announced that Lungu will be buried in South Africa. Now, this after a feud between the family and the Zambian government. Now, for any news stories you would like to share with us, please send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa News, I'm Nosipo Zuma.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
5 minutes after 10 o'clock Central African time. Good morning. If you just joined us, listen, you deserve a fine, okay? You deserve a fine because where were you for an entire hour when we were having great informative conversations with Mr. Dumelo Mabasha as well as Mr. Adil Al Yusuf, and we were learning so much. And you only appear after an hour? I am mad at you and I am judging you. But also I'm grateful that you're finally here because we were definitely not complete without you here. Welcome to it. It is Tech Africa with myself, Inno Manchidi. I'm with you all the way till 12 o'clock this afternoon, bringing you nothing but the best in all things tech. Listen, we explore everything right here, from artificial intelligence to coding, to apps, robotics, analytics, cybersecurity, and the Internet of Things. Listen, if it is shaping the future, we are going to be talking about it here. And speaking of which, I think we heard about a lot of conversations that are shaping the future when we were speaking to Mr. Mabasha a few minutes ago, and he was explaining to us how we need to learn how to embrace the changes that are coming in the technological world, because they are shaping the future, and we either embrace them and we evolve with them, or we find ourselves shaking. That's basically the long short of it. But thank you so much for being here. We are in the second hour of the show. Thank you so much to everyone that is listening. Shout out to you if you are listening to us on www.channelafrica.co.za, or perhaps on DSTV Audio Bouquet channel 802, or maybe on OpenView channel 628. Whatever the case, thank you so much for choosing us. We choose you right back. We are preparing for a conversation with Mr. Tarifani Banks, who is a businessman as well as the CEO of Analytics X, right? We're going to be having a very interesting, once again, informative, what is happening to this English that is not ours, informative conversation with him about basically data analysis. So he is, let me just give you a brief outline of who he is and what he does, right? So I met him a few years ago, and he spoke about data science. And I was asking him, what is data science? I mean, data is data, I didn't know that there was a science behind it. And he then started telling us about how almost every business thrives on data science, and that is what he does. And we're going to be chatting a bit more about that in just a bit. We're going to be talking about their two major pillars, which is fintech and e-commerce, and we're going to be exploring that in just a bit. But for now, I just wanted to encourage you to head over to our social media platforms. It is Channel Africa 1, that is on Facebook, on X, as well as on TikTok and Instagram. We would love to hear from you. Our WhatsApp line is +2763 409 126. It would be lovely to chill with you while interacting with you. Okay, without wasting more time, let's take a short break. When we come back from this musical break, we will be having Mr. Tarifani Banks, who is the founder and CEO of Analytics X, as well as Spaza Eats.
Africa in Song with Chanduko Ligege.
This song has a line that I love so much in the isiXhosa language. It says, Andinayo nesentem daga. So I went down to the Eastern Cape. So I went to Yanga and said, Yanga, tell me here, what does Andinayo nesentem daga mean?
If I say Andinayo nesentem daga, it means that I do not have any money on me. I do not have money to give to you.
Interesting, because in Chivenda, I would just say, Atinana peni, ndo charunwe. I wonder if you have that expression in your home language when you want to say you're broke, but in a very creative way. What do you say? I'd like to hear from you.
Africa in Song with Chanduko Ligege. Africa at Play with NATO and ETO Chairman.
The Confederation of African Athletics, CAA President Mr. Hamad Kalkaba Malboum, talk to us about the state of athletics in Africa as it stands, and what picture are you looking at 5 years later?
Yeah, athletics in Africa is strong. We are able to organize our major events in time. Like this year, we will have the under-20 and under-18 African Championship in Nigeria. Next year, we will have the senior in Ghana. In 2027, we will go back to Algeria to organize the under-18 and under-20. And then 2028, we will have the senior championship in Gaborone in Botswana. Well, by this program, we can increase our performance. And at the same time, we are considering the fact that within the British Federation, they are identifying young talent every year within their national program, within the scholarship championship. And so the athletics in Africa is in good standard.
Live every Saturday and Sunday from 2 to 5 p.m. Central African Time. Tech Africa on Channel Africa. The African perspective. The rhythm of Africa. The pulse of the continent. This is Channel Africa. The African perspective.
days are gone, I will spend each day with only joy in my heart. Though many times I cried, I'd always find the strength to wipe the tears from my eyes. I remember those days when I prayed to come home. I knew that someday I'd be here. Memories of days gone by when I felt so alone. In the end, all that matters is I'm home. Homeland and us
Live and real with Tebogo Likweleni and Nompumelelo Ngubeni.
Tame Ngubeni talks money. Africa in business. 4 till 5 p.m.
5 till 6. We put on a little bit more color.
Vue d'Afrique with Joël Moteba.
We go to East and Central Africa and find Darubinia Africa with I Am Shakif. Madapiri gives us some life. Zochitika, 7 till 8 p.m.
Maria Mokumalo comes in 8 till 9.
We get some useful knowledge. Kalodiscopia, 9 till 10. We take a look in Africa and beyond. Africa World Hour with Sipiso Makwetla.
And we close it up with some love. The Hotlines
with Shailen Dikumana, 10 till 12 p.m. on Channel Africa.
Across borders, across time zones.
On air, online.
This is Channel Africa.
Africa has a voice, and that voice is Channel Africa. It keeps you in motion, speaking, singing, questioning, rising.
Wake up with Rise and Shine, 6 till 9.
Peter and Asanda, as they bring you breaking news, sharp analysis, and the voices that shape the day.
At mid-morning,
we get on the move with Palisa and Benjamin, digging into the African lifestyle, people,
and the things that make Africa smile.
12 till 1, Africa Update with Lulu Kabu, getting in-depth, powerful stories, and the perspective you won't hear anywhere else. The Upside, 1 till 4, live and real, with Tebogo Likweleni and Nompumelelo Ngubeni.
Tame Ngubeni talks money. Africa in business, 4 till 5 p.m.
5 till 6, we put on a little bit more color.
Vue d'Afrique with Joël Moteba.
We go to East and Central Africa and find Darubinia Africa with I Am Shakif. Madapiri gives us some life. Zochitika, 7 till 8 p.m.
Maria Mokumalo comes in 8 till 9.
We get some useful knowledge. Kalodiscopia, 9 till 10. We take a look in Africa and beyond. Africa World Hour with Sipiso Makwetla.
And we close it up with some love. The Hotlines
with Shailen Dikumana, 10 till 12 p.m. on Channel Africa.
Across borders, across time zones.
On air, online.
This is Channel Africa.
Africa has a voice, and that voice is Channel Africa. It keeps you in motion, speaking, singing, questioning, rising.
Wake up with Rise and Shine, 6 till 9.
Peter and Asanda, as they bring you breaking news, sharp analysis, and the voices that shape the day.
At mid-morning,
we get on the move with Palisa and Benjamin, digging into the African lifestyle, people,
and the things that make Africa smile.
12 till 1, Africa Update with Lulu Kabu, getting in-depth, powerful stories, and the perspective you won't hear anywhere else. The Upside, 1 till 4, live and real, with Tebogo Likweleni and Nompumelelo Ngubeni.
Tame Ngubeni talks money. Africa in business, 4 till 5 p.m.
5 till 6, we put on a little bit more color.
Vue d'Afrique with Joël Moteba.
We go to East and Central Africa and find Darubinia Africa with I Am Shakif. Madapiri gives us some life. Zochitika, 7 till 8 p.m.
Maria Mokumalo comes in 8 till 9.
We get some useful knowledge. Kalodiscopia, 9 till 10. We take a look in Africa and beyond. Africa World Hour with Sipiso Makwetla.
And we close it up with some love. The Hotlines
with Shailen Dikumana, 10 till 12 p.m. on Channel Africa.
Across borders, across time zones.
On air, online.
This is Channel Africa.
Africa has a voice, and that voice is Channel Africa. It keeps you in motion, speaking, singing, questioning, rising. Wake up with Rise and Shine 6 till 9. Peter and Asanda as they bring you breaking news, sharp analysis, and the voices that shape the day. At mid-morning, we get on the move with Palisa and Benjamin, digging into the African lifestyle, people, and the things that make Africa smile. 12 till 1, Africa Update with Lulu Kabu, getting in-depth, powerful stories, and the perspective you won't hear anywhere else. The Upside, 1 till 4, live and real, with Tepuho Likweleni and Nompumelelo Ngubeni.
Tame Ngubeni talks money, Africa in business, 4 till 5 p.m.
5 till 6, we put on a little bit more color.
Vue d'Afrique
With Joel Moteba, we go to East and Central Africa and find Darubinia Africa with I Am Shakif. Madapiri gives us some life. Zochitika, 7 till 8 p.m.
Maria Mokumalo comes in 8 till 9.
We get some useful knowledge. Kalodiscopia, 9 till 10. We take a look in Africa and beyond. Africa World Hour with Sipiso Makwetla.
And we close it up with some love. The Hotlines
with Shailen Dikumana, 10 till 12 p.m. on Channel Africa.
Across borders, across time zones.
On air, online.
This is Channel Africa.
Africa has a voice, and that voice is Channel Africa. It keeps you in motion, speaking, singing, questioning, rising.
Wake up with Rise and Shine 6 till 9.
Peter and Asanda as they bring you breaking news, sharp analysis, and the voices that shape the day. At mid-morning, we get on the move with Palisa and Benjamin, digging into the African lifestyle, people,
and the things that make Africa smile.
12 till 1, Africa Update with Lulu Kabu, getting in-depth, powerful stories, and the perspective you won't hear anywhere else. The Upside, 1 till 4, live and real, with Tepuho Likweleni and Nompumelelo Ngubeni.
Tame Ngubeni talks money, Africa in business, 4 till 5 p.m.
5 till 6, we put on a little bit more color.
Vue d'Afrique
with Joel Moteba. We go to East and Central Africa and find Darubinia Africa with I Am Shakif. Madapiri gives us some life. Zochitika, 7 till 8 p.m.
Maria Mokumalo comes in 8 till 9.
We get some useful knowledge. Kalodiscopia, 9 till 10. We take a look in Africa and beyond. Africa World Hour with Sipiso Makwetla.
And we close it up with some love. The Hotlines
with Shailen Dikumana, 10 till 12 p.m. on Channel Africa.
Across borders, across time zones.
On air, online.
This is Channel Africa.
Africa has a voice, and that voice is Channel Africa. It keeps you in motion, speaking, singing, questioning, rising.
Wake up with Rise and Shine 6 till 9.
Peter and Asanda as they bring you breaking news, sharp analysis, and the voices that shape the day. At mid-morning, we get on the move with Palisa and Benjamin, digging into the African lifestyle, people,
and the things that make Africa smile.
12 till 1, Africa Update with Lulu Kabu, getting in-depth, powerful stories, and the perspective you won't hear anywhere else. The Upside, 1 till 4, live and real, with Tepuho Likweleni and Nompumelelo Ngubeni.
Tame Ngubeni talks money, Africa in business, 4 till 5 p.m.
5 till 6, we put on a little bit more color.
Vue d'Afrique with Joel Moteba.
We go to East and Central Africa and find Darubinia.
10 o'clock Central African time. Good morning if you just joined us. Welcome. You're just on time for an amazing conversation with Mr. Taripane Banks, who is a businessman and a group CEO of Analytics X. Now, let me just tell you a little bit about him, right? His expertise lies in seamlessly bridging the intricate realms of data engineering, data science, and informed business decision making. His love for the African continent and innovative approach has propelled Analytics X, Analytics Advertising, and Spaza Eats to the forefront of the industry, establishing them as a beacon for those seeking unparalleled solutions in the dynamic world of data. Now, Analytics X is currently sharpening their focus around two major pillars, which is fintech and e-commerce, with a strong belief that technology should enable inclusion and growth, especially for underserved communities. Good morning, Mr. Banks.
Thank you so much. Good morning to you and your listeners.
You know what? I keep asking all my guests if they usually wake up this early on Sunday mornings, or am I maybe like pushing you out of bed? What is your story, Mr. Bank?
My story is I usually wake up every morning at 3 a.m.
No.
And that's where I meditate, connect. Then I wake up, then I sleep again around 4, wake up around 7. Then I take a walk. Like now I'm still at war. I'm still walking, and that's how I kickstart the day.
Oh, no. Your discipline is on another level. No. I feel like you're stressing me out. 3 o'clock, I am still finishing my second last dream.
What? That's what I'm meditating, seeing, bringing things from spiritual.
I can imagine that that also plays a part in getting you to be such a sharp person when it comes to your field.
Yes, 100%. It's the heart.
Now, let's talk about the thought behind Analytics X. How did it come about? When was it established? And why the name as well?
Yeah, so we started 2017. That was the time where digital was taking over, and a lot of companies were starting to ask themselves, where should they be putting their budgets on? And I used to be a data science for retailers like Pick and Pay and things. So I saw that digital would be the future. And when we started, we wanted to provide solutions within data science, dashboards, and creating migration on cloud for companies, and also building software solutions for companies in mining, manufacturing, and things like that, and banking. And as we grew, we realized that we can do more. We started building our own technology, just like Fiverr is now.
And how did the name Analytics X come about?
Analytics is basically saying mathematics, but now mathematics on X level without limitation. You can analyze data from retail, mining, transportation, to banking data in real time. So we're saying that X because you don't know what you are analyzing or what you are solving. So we're solving different types of problems. That's where we were coming from.
That is so interesting and so well thought of. Now, what is data science for somebody like just a layperson that probably is hearing about this field for the first time? What is data science, and what do you do as a data scientist?
Yes, data science is a study of mathematics, statistics, and computer science. You are basically analyzing or solving for X using a computer or using a programming language. And what you are trying to do is you're trying to use all those big data or all this big information that is coming in real time now in the digital world. You're trying to solve it using a computer and find your X. So we say data science is a study of using machine learning, statistical models to solve problems in real time.
And what is data science or data management, or how is it important for businesses? Because I hear that you said that you worked with retailers. How is this important for businesses?
Yes, so business needs analysts or data scientists to tell them what is going on in their business. You've seen the companies coming with reward solutions, and a reward solution for somebody is like, I'm getting points. But for a company is which customer is buying what from our stores, and when are they buying, and what are they buying, and what should we be offering them? What type of age are these people? How much are they? How much is their basket when they buy from us? So that all that analytics allows them to know what to stock and what not to stock. That's why you can go to a shop in a premium area and a shop in a community area. They don't sell the same thing. They sell per demand of that area. And it's because there was an analyst behind it who's analyzing what people buy in this area. And also beyond that, you want to use data science to understand your business performance by region, by area, the type of people who are buying from you. If it's in banking, you want to use data science to understand your transactionals that are coming in your bank and where are you making most of your money, what other products are there that are not initiated yet. And for example, if you're a bank and you offer credit, which credit works? Is it the home loan, vehicle, or is it renovation credit? All of this comes when you are understanding your customers and you are analyzing them, or what are they comfortable with the products offering you have.
Interesting. Actually, I it just made so much sense when you spoke about this because sometimes we're really just lazy thinkers. But as you explained it, I'm like, yes, this makes sense.
It's unpacking how the business should perform. But if it was a spaza shop, you understand your business. But now it's a big retailer that people who are coming there, you don't know them. So for you to understand what to provide next and what to stock or how to keep your business, you need to have a machine that is helping you, or a data scientist that is understanding your data coming on through your system. And that's why on Spaza Eats now, we've got e-commerce. People are buying on real time on online, and we are also offering POS machines. So on our side, data scientists are analyzing how is e-commerce transactions compared to machine or card machine transaction. And we are learning that people are still preferring old ways of payment, card payment, than e-commerce.
Sure. And all that you can get through data science. That's how you're able to determine those things in real time.
Yes.
Interesting. So interesting. We're still going to talk about Spaza Eats because that's another aspect that really excites me about Analytics X. But let's just find out some of the work that you do as Analytics X. Who do you usually work with? Who are your target markets? What is some of the things that you do?
Yes. So we usually work with companies in manufacturing, mining, banking. And what we are doing, if it's in a manufacturing, we are either building them a stock management system. What the system is doing is helping them to load all their new inventory that is coming in or what they are producing. This might sound like, okay, we already have something like that, but not a lot of companies have a system that can track their production of what they are producing today, and also what is on hand and what is moving or what is being ordered. So in the manufacturing industry, they need to track how many bags of sugar to produce today based on demand. But because they don't have a system that talks to each other from production and the stock on hand and what is being ordered, they end up producing more units of products that are not demanded. So you need a data scientist to build you a system so you can know what to produce today. So you manage your money, manage your production investment as you attract more customers. And if it's in banking, we are either helping them to migrate some of their systems, old-fashioned systems, from their on-prem and old ways of saving their data to cloud, whether we migrating them to AWS or Azure. Those are our partners, Huawei Cloud. And we are helping them to understand how many transactions are coming in real time and where they're making most of their money. So we become their consultants. If it's mining, we are building them systems that tracks workers who are coming in the plant so they can sign up, whether with a tablet or a signing up platform. What that does is it allows you to know the time each worker came in and how much overtime they worked, and the whole system will feed back to HR to say how many hours Mr. Jones worked underground and how much he needs to be paid and how much is his overtime. And that whole process allows support HR, finance, and also support the mine because the system can manage inventory. So in mining, they've got trucks, they've got equipment that are being used. So you will need a system to know which truck has been assigned to which team, which group in real time. So you're helping them understand their business using a system without flopping. Because in mining, there's so many people who are working there that you won't know that if Mr. Jones or Mr. Beat really worked 50 hours this month, and you end up overpaying him, underpaying him. That's why you hear a lot of problems like that in mining, especially emerging mining companies, that they're struggling with paying people the right amount is because they don't have a system tracking the process.
This is so interesting. And also the fact that you're able to help different departments in organizations just through these systems.
Yes, 100%, 100%. So we are a team of software developers, data engineers, data scientists, and consultants.
Amazing. Now, Mr. Banks, AI is here and changing how things are done. So I
Yes.
just want to find out how it's, changing how things are done operationally at Analytics X, as well as how you're embracing it.
Yes. I think to make people understand what AI is in this time is that in the back in the days when we still had telecoms, landline, public phones, we used to walk a distance to make a call. People were so disconnected. And yes, we were free, but the landline was not working for the African continent and how we were working. But in the time of cell phones, we became so connected and we breached the gap of isolation. And that's what people didn't realize. But because we didn't have poles and towers in every area, cell phones became a solution. You breached the gap. That is AI. There are a lot of things that have happened from internet time in the 90s to now that some people are so good at programming, data science, machine learning, that you can't compete. You are so far behind that you can't even apply methodologies that will help you compete with them. But what AI is doing is bridging the gap, skill gap of not knowing programming, not knowing data science, not knowing any information of what is happening right now in real time. And you've got a tool that you can use to understand what is happening right now in the industry, in the market, where is the opportunity right now. And you use AI to bridge all that gap. If you want to get a code for certain things, you can ask AI. If you want to know what is happening within fintech right now, you can ask AI. If you want to know anything, this platform has become your friend, it's become your consultant. And if people start using AI, they are as good as anybody who is well-learned, who is a doctor. That's the thing. AI is replacing, in the time of education was highly valued. But now the time of AI, education is competing with the machine, and you can't. So we'd rather learn how to use AI than to record information in our head.
Sure. Now, you have a passion for developing townships. I just want to know where this passion comes from, for empowering and underserved communities. Where did this passion come from? And is this where your development of Spaza Eats and Spaza Pay then came from?
Yeah, it's a combination of a lot of things, but here's the thing. I'm from mathematics, statistics, and that's my background, and because of analytics, we build systems, so I've gained trust that I can do that. But what gave me courage to build some platform like a Spaza is the fact that when I was growing up, my mother used to have a Spaza shop, and that Spaza shop served our family and many other families I could see around that. They took their kids to school, and they changed their lives with that Spaza shop. What solution can I build now that will make direct impact without me existing? What can I do now? Because I won BRICS, and when I was there in Russia, I just couldn't know what did I do to my community. I couldn't say it out for me personally. But since then, I've been embarking on a journey to build a tool that will create opportunity for many Spaza shop owners, many eateries in any area they are in, within South Africa and many other African countries when we expand, to start increasing their revenue from just getting orders online and also having accessibility to a POS machine. You'll know that when you walk to some communities, you want to buy some things from them, they'll say, "Oh, we don't have a machine here." They lost an order. But if they have a machine and they also have a tool like a Spaza Eats app, they can accept orders from 5 kilometers, 8 kilometers, which increases their orders that day. What we don't realize is that if a Spaza shop is making 2,000, the 2,000 is because of people who stay around there. But imagine if you've got a tool like a Spaza Eats where there's extra 50 people who can order that day, who are 5 kilometers far. You have increased that person to now make 4,000 that day. If you multiply 4,000 by 22 days, you have added value in that family. But now imagine you've got over 10,000 Spaza shops that are selling in real time. That's what we're doing.
Amazing. You know what? Actually, you just touched on it as you were speaking, but I want you to break down what Spaza Eats is for somebody that's hearing it for the first time.
It's a platform designed to allow e-commerce for the informal traders and formal traders. So what that means is if you've got a spaza shop or a quarter shop or things like that, you can add your shop on the Spaza Eats app, and you can start selling to your customers who are around you and those who are far. You've seen that there's Checker 60, there's Uber Eats, there's Mr. D. Works similar, the same, but in this case, we are targeting informal markets and underserved markets to have the same accessibility. We've got restaurants that are in this platform that are locally owned. We've got BP Express, Pick and Pay Express, groceries in the townships that are on this platform. We've got eateries, Kota King, Babesway Kitchen, many local guys that are now making more income through the platform. But we learned that because we've got a banking license, a TPP, we can now provide also POS machines, which allows all these guys to now to allow their customers to pay on the ground and also allow them to buy online, which helps us to become a fintech e-commerce that is digitized in township and probably one of the best right now.
I would agree. Is it available nationwide, or is it to a certain,
nationwide?
Nationwide. So anyone,
nationwide.
if
So,
I'm sitting
yes.
at Venda right now, I'm able to utilize it and download it and put in my, my Shonja business there.
100%. Toyando right now, you can download Spaza Eats Store and you can register, and the team will approve you within few minutes, and then you add your menu, Mashonja, Archer, and then you are live. And then you can also, on the Spaza Eats, you can set up times of your availability. You can say your shop opens at 11 to 7 p.m., and that's when the store will be live for customers' view. You can say your store opens at 6 a.m., and also your menu, you are able to change your menu anytime you want. If you feel like today, on Wednesday, we sell maguru and other things, you can change your menu in that way. And this is designed for African cuisines and how we live, basically.
I don't know if you understand how progressive this is, Mr. Banks, but wow, this is extremely impressive. I feel like this is what we needed as a people, and I know that it's going to benefit
100%.
us quite a lot. And I feel like we're not making enough noise about Spaza Eats. Okay,
Yes,
we are
we're
not
not,
making
we're
enough
not.
noise.
And let me tell you, it's the limitation of budgets I have on marketing. But in terms of technology, I've invested my best. And that's why now you realize that now I'm traveling a lot now with Kenya, Ghana, because I've got a tool that will serve the continent. But as we're growing, as we are transacting, I'm starting to gain more capital to improve our marketing. So even if we didn't do much in the past 2 years in terms of communicating, in the next years or the next 6 months, it will be different. In a sense that now I've got partners. I've got Old Mutual, SME Go. I've got Nedbank backing me. The Reserve Bank gave me a TPP. I've got merchants on the ground. I've got drivers on the ground, and it's growing. So there will be a time where when we start allowing people to know about it and our marketing is strong on radio, on TV, we will be able to sustain that marketing and that communication. So the only limitation now is the budget, but we aim to do more. Yeah.
And we're looking forward to seeing more. Now, I want us to talk about your partnership with Nedbank and Old Mutual. How is it beneficial to people like us who are saying that we are coming for Spaza Eats, be it as consumers or be it as people that are actually small business owners?
Yeah, so Nedbank is a bank that when I was looking for a license to be approved to hold people's money, because when you are running a Spaza Eats, just like Uber and what, you need to be an approved bank at the back. So Nedbank sponsored our TPP, which allowed us to have a third payment certificate to Reserve Bank. So because of that, that is the bank that looked at our innovation and co-signed it. And because of that, we respect it. And now Nedbank, how we're working with them is that because they are holding our license, they also created our merchant bank. So when you make an order on Spaza Eats, your money goes to Nedbank Merchant Bank. So you can trust that it's a safe platform. There is any illegal activities happening in this platform. It's trusted by the bank. It's authorized by the bank. And also, Nedbank being our TPP and the sponsor, they also gave us a merchant bank to allow us to provide POS machines. So if you are tapping on that machine for Spaza Eats right now, the money goes to our merchant bank and then gets settled to the merchant within 24 hours. So it's a process. It's like we are a bank, authorized mini bank right now. And with Old Mutual is saying we want to go to ground with Spaza Eats, SME Go, and we want to sponsor them with even more machines. And we also want to provide merchants that are on Spaza Eats with the fund, with the loans. The guys who are doing about 10,000 a day on the machine or on e-commerce a day, that means they can qualify for like 50,000 on Spaza Eats from Old Mutual, and Old Mutual is willing to give that loan, to give that insurance, and also to allow them to be part of the community. Yeah.
Mr. Banks, how are you supporting, communities and townships when it comes to AI and tech, advancements, especially those that you work with?
Yes, I think the ability for me to provide Spaza Eats, it's an AI tool, it's an advanced technology that is saving so many people at the moment. I think as we go, I plan to do more, like the Spaza Eats app should allow you to ask questions to say, how do I make a quarter? And it should give you an AI answer to say, this is what you put and this is what you need to advance it. So I believe Spaza Eats is one of the best technology right now in the township that is saving people. And as I go, I'm also educating people with technology, with bankability, with fintech. I'm educating on what we need to do to advance our businesses. Because many times, it's not that our businesses are not profitable. I've seen business Spaza shops that are making 200,000 a month. I've seen Spaza shops that are making 50,000. These guys just need scale, and scale comes with technology. When you have something like a Spaza Eats, yes, you are getting 50,000 a month from the guys who are coming to your store, but you are also getting another 50,000 or 30,000 from guys who are buying online. So you have increased your revenue from 50 to 80,000. That's what I'm doing at the moment, and we can do more as we scale. As I get more, as I start affording to run something like this, because I'm competing with some of the best guys, Uber Eats, Mr. D.
Sure. And now Analytics X is a 15-time award-winning tech company. I want us to talk about these achievements, what they mean to you, and just maybe share a few, that are more recent.
Yeah, so those are awards like management of technology in the medium enterprise, management of systems, management of innovation. We won these awards before Spaza Eats, and it was in a short period from 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. And I think what they mean to me is that you can start trusting yourself to start building a technology that will serve your community. And that's why you have a Spaza Eats. The Spaza Eats is a product of us having confidence that we have won management of systems. We have been given awards by the leaders of Reserve Bank, of MTN, of what they have been recognizing what we're doing. But all of that is nothing if you are just creating solutions for large companies that are already big. If we ask you 10 years from now, what did you do? It's not impactful. But if you can build a platform like a Spaza Eats and you continue growing it, in 10 years from now, it will be so powerful that everybody will know what you have done for the country and many countries in the continent.
What does it mean to you to be widely recognized as a pioneering force shaping Africa's emerging tech and business landscape? Because that is a huge accolade to carry with your name, Mr. Banks.
Yeah, I'm working on it, and it's like I'm a working actor, like your role on your acting scene. It's like you've got that acting role, né? But that acting role is your reality.
Yeah.
And everything around it, you live in it. So when I'm doing it, I don't feel like I'm acting. I don't feel like I'm lying to people. I don't feel like something is missing. I feel fulfilled, and every day I'm ready to make impact. So that somebody was telling me, don't you get tired of doing, like you are always, like this week I'm going to Nairobi and I'll be speaking there and also talking about how to get a license and things. I'm like, how can I get tired of living the life I'm called for? This is my assignment. And every time, when we pivot or when we advance what we're doing, it's not that we are running away from the past, it's that now we have learned that you can do more. Like now when we are providing POS machines, we are learning that, transactional banking is not only on e-commerce. You can still give people the tool on the ground and still increase your cash flow. So our target is to provide, we are giving away 5,000 machines on the ground for free because every other bank is charging, every other guys who are in fintech, they're charging. But we invested on 5,000 machines. We want to give to Spaza shops across national to start transacting and have a digital capability on the machine and also allow them to be on the Spaza Eats app. So it's a continuous growth.
It is. And now, from what we're seeing on your social media platforms, you are working on something very big. Now, without revealing too much, what can you share about your upcoming projects?
What I can reveal is that I'm going to start focusing on the continent, start talking economic, tech, visionary, and getting involved into intercontinental trade because I want to help open the market. I was mentored by Raymond Ackerman, the founder of Pick and Pay, and he said that back in the days the bread and milk was so expensive, and he helped influence all those products to be tax zero rated from tax, and that's what he made impact. And I want to be in the part of where we are advancing continental trade, where you can buy a product from Zimbabwe from here and it gets delivered. You buy from Botswana, Gaborone, from Tanzania, and it's a lifestyle that continent is connected. But also in the company, I want to start bringing people who are advanced, who are experienced, and I want to get to a level where I can hire people who have been working for 30 years and who have so much experience, and we start innovating with the old and new together instead of new coming up with without the experience. So I want to bring that old knowledge into the company, and I want to see our company in 2027, 2028 being listed. So that is where we're going. I want to bring reality of building a black person can build a business that is sustainable and can compete on the highest level, on a billion level, and not as a tender or anything, but as a product that is you can't ignore it.
Speaking about 2027, I know that you have a vision for 2027. Can we talk about Analytics X's vision for 2027?
Analytics X 2027, you are seeing Spaza Eat, you are seeing Spaza Pay, and probably we have bought another innovation that is around township and all regional development. And as a group, we are getting listed as a group somewhere there. We are probably becoming JSE listed, and we are also trying to expand in other African countries and also looking at outside, abroad, maybe Dubai and other markets like that.
Oh man, we are going big. I love it.
Big,
yeah. I love it. Now, where can people get more information about you, about your company? I know you've also got a consulting division, Spaza Eats.
Yes.
Where can people just get information about all of this?
They can get me, Analytics X, on LinkedIn. Mostly that's where I'm communicating a lot about business strategies and things. But I just recently came back from Facebook, and I'm trying to connect with the people on the ground because I'm trying to connect with the communities. I've partnered also with the city of Joburg and other guys that would allow us to be active on the market, on the ground. So they can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I'm trying. My team is also helping me to manage. I know that I'm not good at these things. I don't have a good following, but I'm there. And if they want more knowledge about me and how I think, I'm more on LinkedIn.
And where can we get Spaza Eats? On our app stores, Google Play?
Spaza Eats, yes, on iOS, on Google Play, you download Spaza Eats. As a customer, it will pop out. If you are a store owner, download Spaza Eats Store. A Spaza Eats Store will allow you to register your business, add your document, and then within few minutes our team will approve you. Then you add your menu and you are live.
Mr. Banks, it has been so lovely chatting to you, and thank you so much for showing us that it's possible, man. I mean, these are some big moves you're making. The fact that you just, I can imagine that one day in the past this was all just a dream, and you were just a young boy. You were just a young boy saying that one day.
Yeah, one day I'll do this. Let me tell you, you know how difficult it is to bring things together. Sometimes it does not mean the dream is dead. It just means that you are still connecting the components. So now it's starting to connect. To get to a level where you are given a license to manage people's money. It means you are being trusted to do this. So it's a long shot, but I'm starting to feel comfortable, and that's why now I walk 3 hours and 12 kilometers thinking and trying to advance where we already are now. So I'm grateful. And thank you. Thank you for your platform also.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for making time to educate us and just start your Sunday morning with us. Please do have a lovely Sunday further.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Take care. Take care of yourself.
You too. Thank you, sir. That was Mr. Banks from Analytics X. And man, if you were not inspired by that conversation, I don't know. Because what? These things just... they just make you firstly challenge yourself and challenge your way of thinking, because I know that sometimes I can be a lazy thinker. Sometimes I can just want to be spoon-fed. I can just have a dream or a thought or an idea that I'm sitting on. But these kinds of conversations just show you that sometimes it's just on you to get up and do something, and conversations with people like Mr. Banks really do push us and also just make us see that there is so much life in tech, in analytics, in data science. And we really appreciate you for making that time for us, Mr. Daripani Banks. And that brings us to 9 minutes before top of the hour, 10 o'clock. If you have just joined us, or if you were listening to this conversation, I hope that you are inspired. I hope that we are all getting up. You know what? You don't have to get up at 3 like him. You don't have to get up at 3 a.m. But we are getting up to do something, And of course, this is Tech Africa with myself, Inno Manchidi. We are bringing you, listen, these conversations. When I tell you AI is not ready for me, when I tell you AI is afraid of me, I am not even joking. Let's take a short musical break as we get ready to conclude the second hour of the show.
No fairy tales, just the facts and the music you love on Channel Africa. With I Am Shakif, Madapiri gives us some life. Zochitika, 7 till 8 p.m. Mariamo Kumalo comes in 8 till 9. We get some useful knowledge. Kalodiscopia, 9 till 10. We take a look in Africa and beyond. Africa World Hour with Sipiso Makwetla. And we close it up with some love. The Hotlines with Shailen Dikumana, 10 till 12 p.m. on Channel Africa. Across borders, across time zones, on air, online. This is Channel Africa. Africa has a voice, and that voice is Channel Africa. It keeps you in motion, speaking, singing, questioning, rising. Wake up with Rise and Shine 6 till 9. Peter and Asanda as they bring you breaking news, sharp analysis, and the voices that shape the day. At mid-morning, we get on the move with Palisa and Benjamin, digging into the African lifestyle, people, and the things that make Africa smile. 12 till 1, Africa Update with Lulu Kabu, getting in-depth, powerful stories, and the perspective you won't hear anywhere else. The Upside, 1 till 4, live and real, with Tepu Kholikweleni and Nompumelelo Ngubeni. Tame Ngubeni talks money, Africa in business, 4 till 5 p.m. 5 till 6, we put on a little bit more color. Vue d'Afrique with Joël Moteba. We go to East and Central Africa and find Darubinia Africa with I Am Shakif. Madapiri gives us some life. Zochitika, 7 till 8 p.m. Mariamo Kumalo comes in 8 till 9. We get some useful knowledge. Kalodiscopia, 9 till 10. We take a look in Africa and beyond. Africa World Hour with Sipiso Makwetla. And we close it up with some love. The Hotlines with Shailen Dikumana, 10 till 12 p.m. on Channel Africa. Across borders, across time zones, on air, online. This is Channel Africa. Africa has a voice, and that voice is Channel Africa. It keeps you in motion, speaking, singing, questioning, rising. Wake up with Rise and Shine 6 till 9. Peter and Asanda as they bring you breaking news, sharp analysis, and the voices that shape the day. At mid-morning, we get on the move with Palisa and Benjamin, digging into the African lifestyle, people, and the things that make Africa smile. 12 till 1, Africa Update with Lulu Kabu, getting in-depth, powerful stories, and the perspective you won't hear anywhere else. The Upside, 1 till 4, live and real, with Tepu Kholikweleni and Nompumelelo Ngubeni. Tame Ngubeni talks money, Africa in business, 4 till 5 p.m. 5 till 6, we put on a little bit more color. Vue d'Afrique with Joël Moteba. We go to East and Central Africa and find Darubinia Africa with I Am Shakif. Madapiri gives us some life. Zochitika, 7 till 8 p.m. Mariamo Kumalo comes in 8 till 9. We get some useful knowledge. Kaleidoscopia. 9 till 10, we take a look in Africa and beyond. Africa World Hour with Sipiso Makwetla. And we close it up with some love. The Hotlines with Shailen Dikumana. 10 till 12 p.m. on Channel Africa. Across borders, across time zones. On air, online. This is Channel Africa. Africa has a voice, and that voice is Channel Africa. It keeps you in motion, speaking, singing, questioning, rising. Wake up with Rise and Shine 6 till 9. Peter and Asanda as they bring you breaking news, sharp analysis, and the voices that shape the day. At mid-morning, we get on the move with Palisa and Benjamin, digging into the African lifestyle, people, and the things that make Africa smile. 12 till 1, Africa Update with Lulu Kabu, getting in-depth, powerful stories, and the perspective you won't hear anywhere else. The Upside, 1 till 4, live and real, with Tepuho Likweleni and Nompumelelo Ngubeni. Tame Ngubeni talks money, Africa in business, 4 till 5 p.m. 5 till 6, we put on a little bit more color. Vue d'Afrique with Joël Moteba. We go to East and Central Africa and find Darubinia Africa with I Am Shakif. Madapiri gives us some life. Zochitika, 7 till 8 p.m. Maria Mokumalo comes in 8 till 9. We get some useful knowledge. Kaleidoscopia. 9 till 10, we take a look in Africa and beyond. Africa World Hour with Sipiso Makwetla. And we close it up with some love. The Hotlines with Shailen Dikumana. 10 till 12 p.m. on Channel Africa. Across borders, across time zones. On air, online. This is Channel Africa. Africa has a voice, and that voice is Channel Africa. It keeps you in motion, speaking, singing, questioning, rising. Wake up with Rise and Shine 6 till 9. Peter and Asanda as they bring you breaking news, sharp analysis, and the voices that shape the day. At mid-morning, we get on the move with Palisa and Benjamin, digging into the African lifestyle, people, and the things that make Africa smile.
11 o'clock, that was By the River. There's a song by Mafiki Zolo that says, he'll find me chilling by the river. Maybe if we do a remix with both these songs, we might just, getting something out, something very nice out of them. But yes, like I said, it is about now a couple of seconds before a minute to 11 o'clock Central African time. You're still tuned in to Take Africa with myself, Inno Manchidi. I am loving the conversations we are having here. I do see the voice notes that are coming in as well. We will definitely get into them after the news and as we prepare for a conversation with Mr. Deepu Jacob, who is from Huawei Technologies. He's going to be chatting to us about all things cloud, but we will talk about that on the other side of 11 o'clock. For now, let us head over to the news with Unosipo Zuma. It is the last bulletin of the day, and I will see you on the other side of this.
Get the news, music, and lifestyle of Africa on Channel Africa, the African perspective. Love music, love culture, love life. Then you will love Channel Africa. SABC News, the African perspective.
Your headlines: Zambia civil society groups outcry over former President Edgar Lungu's funeral, and the UN expresses concern at the US's force against Iran. Thank you, Inno. Good morning. Civil society groups in Zambia have called for an urgent resolution in the matter regarding the funeral of former President Edgar Lungu. His family last week announced that Lungu will be buried in South Africa. Now, this after a feud between the family and the Zambian government. The two sides have failed to reach an agreement on how to send off the former leader. The civil society, along with a section of religious leaders, say the standoff is hurting the dignity of the country. Lungu died earlier this month in South Africa, where he was receiving a specialized medical treatment. The family says the details regarding the funeral arrangements and burial will be shared to the Zambian and South African public in due time. Meanwhile, Zambia's President Hakainde Hichilema has cut short a period of national mourning after Lungu's family refused to allow his body to be repatriated from South Africa as planned. The national mourning period initially ran from 8 to 14 June, but was later extended until 23rd, with flags flying at half-mast and radio stations playing solemn music. Lungi's funeral was set for today in Zambia's capital, Lusaka. It will be the first time a former head of state of another country is buried in South Africa. South African police in the Northern Cape have arrested 15 suspects for contravening of the Immigration Act and illegal mining activities. The arrest follows a multidisciplinary, intelligence-driven operation conducted by members deployed under Operation Vala Umgodi in the Namaqua and Francis Board district. Police spokesperson Mirabelo Bilani says the suspects were found in possession of suspected unpolished diamonds and dacha.
Teams received information regarding suspicious nocturnal mining operations at a diamond site in Quinas. Acting swiftly on the intelligence, the proactive and combat teams tactically approached the identified location and successfully apprehended 10 suspects actively engaged in illegal mining. The individuals were also found in possession of suspected unpolished diamonds.
A flashy tycoon in Zimbabwe has a nation entrance, some being wooed, others alarmed by his habit of giving away cars, along with wads of cash to those he deems patriotic, even presenting them to those he has never met. Mercedes-Benzes, Toyota SUVs, Range Rovers and Wignall Chivayos, vehicles of choice for the recipients, who range from music stars down at hill gospel singers, footballers, church leaders, and those loyal to the ruling ZANU-PF party. The controversial 44-year-old is himself partial to a white Rolls Royce and has a fleet of personalized luxury cars, some of which he has also started giving away as he gets in newer models. Sir Wignall, as he calls himself, is open about how he spends his money. He is less so about how he makes it, as he faces scrutiny over the source of his wealth in a country where life is a daily struggle for most people. And finally, the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has expressed his grave alarm at the use of force by the United States against Iran. This after U.S. President Donald Trump said his country had completed successful precision strikes on 3 nuclear sites in Iran, completely obliterating them. Sharon Bryce Peace reports.
In a statement, Secretary General Guterres called the U.S. action a dangerous escalation in a region already on the edge and a direct threat to international peace and security. He said there was a growing risk that this conflict could rapidly get out of control, with catastrophic consequences for civilians, the region, and the world, as he called on UN member states to de-escalate and to uphold their obligations under the UN Charter and other rules of international law. Guterres further warned that at this perilous hour, it was critical to avoid a spiral of chaos, asserting that there was no military solution, and the only path forward was diplomacy and peace. Sherwin Bryce-Pease, SABC News, New York.
A recap of your top stories. Civil society groups in Zambia have called for an urgent resolution in the matter regarding the funeral of former President Edgar Lungu. His family last week announced that Lungu is or will be buried in South Africa. Now, this after a feud between the family and the Zambian government. Now, for any news stories you would like to share with us, please send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa News, I'm Nosipho Zuma.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Minutes after 11 Central African Time. Welcome to the third and final hour of Tech Africa with myself, Inno Manchidi, with you all the way until 12 o'clock noon. We have been together since 9 o'clock, and it has been an amazing 2 hours, 6 minutes now. And I just wanted to give a huge shout out to everybody that is listening to us from wherever in the world you are. Thank you so much for choosing Channel Africa. Thank you so much for choosing Tech Africa. We choose you right back. And to prove to you that we are choosing you right back, we are giving you conversations that are so informative, so educational. And listen, if you're not taking anything from these conversations, it is not on me. It is not on me, because this information that we're bringing today is so expensive. Experts, gurus, you name it, we have got them right here, right? So let me know how you're listening to us. Is it through a DSTV audio bouquet, channel 802? Is it perhaps through www.channelafrica.co.za, or maybe through OpenView channel 68? Let me know on our WhatsApp line on +27 63409 right? We just had an amazing conversation with Mr. Banks just before the news, and he was basically just teaching us all things data science. He spoke about Spaza Eats, which is a food delivery service for spaza shops in townships, and it is available nationwide. You can find it on your App Store, on your Google Play Store, whatever it is that you use on your phone. You're able to download it from anywhere. You're able to just download it. If you're a business owner, you're able to load your business and just put in the menu that you guys have to offer. Or if you're a spaza shop, you put in the things that you're selling. It is such a progressive move for townships, for environments, which really could do with some advancements, especially when it comes to technology. So shout out to Mr. Banks and his team at Analytics X for the work that they are doing. So we do have a voice note here that I have had on standby, which we're just going to listen to. I did say that send us your voice notes on +27 63409 and I promised you that we will definitely play them throughout the show. Let's hear it out.
Good morning, Ino. I was listening to the interview with Mr. Dumelo Mabasha. The interview was so informative and eye-opening as we learn about the evolution of IT, the changes in IT. It's very, very informative. As a young person that is still figuring out what they really want to do in life, or which career path they want to follow, I found that interview very informative. Thank you.
Oh man, that you have no idea how much that means to us, because that is the point of Tech Africa. It is for you to have these informative conversations that will allow you to even be able to shape your future, even as a young person. And the conversation with Mr. Mabasha definitely was also speaking to young people, because he took us all the way back to the classroom and took us all the way into the workplace where he is right now. So I'm glad that there's somebody that feels like this about this conversation. And I hope that you are encouraged wherever you are to really embrace the changes that are coming with technology and not be intimidated by them, and possibly make certain life choices based off of that as well. And that brings us to 10 minutes after 11 o'clock. We're going to take a musical break as we prepare for our conversation with Mr. Deepu Jacob. So Mr. Deepu Jacob, if you're wondering, is a cloud specialist. He specializes in cloud storage, right? And he is currently a cloud specialist for Huawei Technologies. I know that a lot of us do own Huawei phones, so this conversation might feel a little closer to home. But also, if you you don't necessarily own a Huawei gadget, or please do stand by for it and just hear what the conversation is all about, especially where cloud is involved, because one way or another we all do need cloud storage. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry, we've got Mr. Deepu Jacob coming through with that conversation in about 10. But for now, we're going to go back to the music, because another thing that I promised to give you as we are having nice, chilled, informative, educating, and these conversations that are propelling us to do something about our lives, about our futures, about our knowledge in tech. Another thing I promise you is good music, okay? It is good music. It's what we specialize in right here on Channel Africa. Now, without wasting any more time, let us go and enjoy some good music. And actually, while you're listening to it, I want you to send me a WhatsApp and tell me what are some of the songs that you enjoy listening to on Channel Africa in general? What are some of the music? I know that there's people that say, oh my goodness, Channel Africa teaches me music from all over the world, all over Africa. And I love it for me. So tell me, what are some of the songs that Channel Africa has taught you, and some of the music that you now embrace, that you discovered on Channel Africa? We would love to hear from you. Our WhatsApp line is +276 406 409126. I beg your pardon. +276 409 And that is where we are right now. Let's head over to the music. Without wasting any more time, we'll be back with that conversation with Mr. Deepu Jacob.
Africa Update with Lulu Kabu, getting in-depth, powerful stories, and the perspective you won't hear anywhere else. The Upside, 1 till 4, live and real, with Tepu Kholikweleni and Nompumelelo Ngubeni.
Tame Ngubeni talks money, Africa in business, 4 till 5 p.m.
5 till 6, we put on a little bit more color.
Il faisait maintenant donc cibler les pays partenaires en Afrique. Ça, c'est pour le réalignement stratégique. Alors, et aussi, ce n'est pas un désengagement durable, mais je pense que dans les 2 ou 3 prochaines années, il veut d'abord remettre de l'ordre dans ses affaires.
Vue d'Afrique. Du lundi au vendredi, de 15h à 16h, temps universel.
The Morning Switch Weekend with the Shy Guy.
Matuka Wanji Nonse, Zukani, the Shy Guy, a Morning Switch.
Have you ever listened to a song and then it gives you goosebumps? Cause it takes you way back in the 80s. My goodness. Yay. Hey, baby. You hear Yvonne Chaga Chaga there. I wanna talk to the DJ. And then the DJ goes like, hey baby, I've got you on the other side. Huh? There were no WhatsApps then, right? There were no sliding in the DMs at the time. Oh man.
Your weekend mornings are activated with the Shy Guy on the Morning Switch. Love music, love culture, love life. Then you will love Channel Africa.
Tech Africa on Channel Africa.
The African Perspective. With Joel Muteba.
We go to Eastern Central Africa and find Darubinia Africa with I Am Shakif. Madapiri gives us some life. Zochitika, 7 till 8 p.m.
Mariam Kumalo comes in 8 till 9.
We get some useful knowledge. Kalodiscopia, 9 till 10. We take a look in Africa and beyond. Africa World Hour with Sipiso Makwetla.
And we close it up with some love. The Hotlines
with Shailen Dikumana, 10 till 12 p.m. on Channel Africa.
Across borders, across time zones.
On air, online.
This is Channel Africa.
Africa has a voice, and that voice is Channel Africa. It keeps you in motion, speaking, singing, questioning, rising.
Wake up with Rise and Shine, 6 till 9.
Peter and Asanda, as they bring you breaking news, sharp analysis, and the voices that shape the day.
At mid-morning,
we get on the move with Palisa and Benjamin, digging into the African lifestyle, people,
and the things that make Africa smile.
12 till 1, Africa Update with Lulu Kabu, getting in-depth, powerful stories, and the perspective you won't hear anywhere else. The Upside, 1 till 4, live and real, with Tebogo Likweleni and Nompumelelo Ngubeni.
Tame Ngubeni talks money, Africa in business, 4 till 5 p.m.
5 till 6, we put on a little bit more color.
Vue d'Afrique with Joel Moteba.
We go to Eastern Central Africa and find Darubinia Africa with I Am Shakif. Madapiri gives us some life. Zochitika, 7 till 8 p.m.
Mariamo Kumalo comes in 8 till 9.
We get some Lucifer knowledge. Kalodiscopia, 9 till 10. We take a look in Africa and beyond. Africa World Hour with Sipiso Makwetla.
And we close it up with some love. The Hotlines
with Shailen Dikumana, 10 till 12 p.m. on Channel Africa.
Across borders, across time zones.
On air, online.
This is Channel Africa.
Africa has a voice, and that voice is Channel Africa. It keeps you in motion, speaking, singing, questioning, rising.
Wake up with Rise and Shine, 6 till 9.
Peter and Asanda, as they bring you breaking news, sharp analysis, and the voices that shape the day.
At mid-morning,
we get on the move with Palisa and Benjamin, digging into the African lifestyle, people,
and the things that make Africa smile.
12 till 1, Africa Update with Lulu Kabu, getting in-depth, powerful stories, and the perspective you won't hear anywhere else. The Upside, 1 till 4, live and real, with Tebogo Likweleni and Nompumelelo Ngubeni.
Tame Ngubeni talks money, Africa in business, 4 till 5 p.m.
5 till 6, we put on a little bit more color.
Vue d'Afrique with Joel Moteba.
We go to Eastern Central Africa and find Darubinia Africa with I Am Shakif. Madapiri gives us some life. Zochitika, 7 till 8 p.m.
Mariamo Kumalo comes in 8 till 9.
We get some Lucifer knowledge. Kalodiscopia, 9 till 10. We take a look in Africa and beyond. Africa World Hour with Sipiso Makwetla.
And we close it up with some love. The Hotlines
with Shailen Dikumana, 10 till 12 p.m. on Channel Africa.
Across borders, across time zones.
On air, online.
This is Channel Africa.
Africa has a voice, and that voice is Channel Africa. It keeps you in motion, speaking, singing, questioning, rising.
Wake up with Rise and Shine, 6 till 9.
Peter and Asanda, as they bring you breaking news, sharp analysis, and the voices that shape the day.
At mid-morning,
we get on the move with Palisa and Benjamin, digging into the African lifestyle, people,
and the things that make Africa smile.
12 till 1, Africa Update with Lulu Kabu, getting in-depth, powerful stories, and the perspective you won't hear anywhere else. The Upside, 1 till 4, live and real, with Tebogo Likweleni and Nompumelelo Ngubeni.
Tame Ngubeni talks money, Africa in business, 4 till 5 p.m.
5 till 6, we put on a little bit more color.
Vue d'Afrique with Joel Moteba.
We go to Eastern Central Africa and find Darubinia Africa with I Am Shakif. Madapiri gives us some life. Zochitika, 7 till 8 p.m.
Mariamo Kumalo comes in 8 till 9.
We get some Lucifer knowledge. Kalodiscopia, 9 till 10. We take a look in Africa and beyond. Africa World Hour with Sipiso Makwetla.
And we close it up with some love. The Hotlines
with Shailen Dikumana, 10 till 12 p.m. on Channel Africa.
Across borders, across time zones.
On air, online.
This is Channel Africa.
Africa has a voice, and that voice is Channel Africa. It keeps you in motion, speaking, singing, questioning, rising.
Wake up with Rise and Shine, 6 till 9.
Peter and Asanda, as they bring you breaking news, sharp analysis, and the voices that shape the day.
At mid-morning,
we get on the move with Palisa and Benjamin, digging into the African lifestyle, people,
and the things that make Africa smile.
12 till 1, Africa Update with Lulu Kabu, getting in-depth, powerful stories, and the perspective you won't hear anywhere else. The Upside, 1 till 4, live and real, with Tebogo Likweleni and Nompumelelo Ngubeni.
Tamengubene Talks Money, Africa in Business, 4 till 5 p.m. 5 till 6, we put on a little bit more color. Vue d'Afrique with Joël Moteba. We go to Eastern Central Africa and find Darubinia Africa with I Am Shakif. Madapiri gives us some life. Zochitika, 7 till 8 p.m. Maria Mokumalo comes in 8 till 9. We get some useful knowledge. Kalodiscopia. 9 till 10, we take a look in Africa and beyond. Africa World Hour with Sipiso Makwetla. And we close it up with some love. The Hotlines with Shailen Dikumana, 10 till 12 p.m. on Channel Africa. Across borders, across time zones. On air, online. This is Channel Africa. Africa has a voice, and that voice is Channel Africa. It keeps you in motion, speaking, singing, questioning, rising. Wake up with Rise and Shine, 6 till 9. Peter and Asanda, as they bring you breaking news, sharp analysis, and the voices that shape the day. At mid-morning, we get on the move with Palisa and Benjamin, digging into the African lifestyle, people, and the things that make Africa smile. 12 till 1, Africa Update with Lulu Kabu, getting in-depth, powerful stories, and the perspective you won't hear anywhere else. The Upside, 1 till 4, live and real, with Tepuho Likweleni and Nompumelelo Ngubeni. Tamengubene Talks Money, Africa in Business, 4 till 5 p.m. 5 till 6, we put on a little bit more color. Vue d'Afrique with Joël Moteba. We go to Eastern Central Africa and find Darubinia Africa with I Am Shakif. Madapiri gives us some life. Zochitika, 7 till 8 p.m. Maria Mokumalo comes in 8 till 9. We get some useful knowledge. Kalodiscopia. 9 till 10, we take a look in Africa and beyond. Africa World Hour with Sipiso Makwetla. And we close it up with some love. The Hotlines with Shailen Dikumana, 10 till 12 p.m. on Channel Africa. Across borders, across time zones. On air, online. This is Channel Africa. Africa has a voice, and that voice is Channel Africa. It keeps you in motion, speaking, singing, questioning, rising. Wake up with Rise and Shine, 6 till 9. Peter and Asanda, as they bring you breaking news, sharp analysis, and the voices that shape the day. At mid-morning, we get on the move with Palisa and Benjamin, digging into the African lifestyle, people, and the things that make Africa smile. 12 till 1, Africa Update with Lulu Kabu, getting in-depth, powerful stories, and the perspective you won't hear anywhere else. The Upside, 1 till 4, live and real.
Central African time. It is Salif Keita with Africa. I mean, it's a classic. It is such a classic. We love that song. I feel like all generations can totally relate with the song, one way or the other. So I did promise you that we are going to be having a conversation with Mr. Deepu Jacob, who is a cloud specialist in Huawei Technologies, South Africa, right? So I promised you that when it comes to the guests that we're having today, we are bringing you people that are so informed, people that have so much. They are like walking encyclopedias, basically, right? Now, every business and in some cases individuals need a reliable storage system for their information to reduce the amount of hardware. That's the importance of cloud-based storage systems. We explore some of these topics with Huawei Technologies cloud specialist, Mr. Deepu Jacobs. Good morning, Mr. Deepu.
Good morning, good morning, our South African colleagues, brothers and sisters. Very good morning.
Thank you so much for making time to talk to us this morning. Now, without wasting any time, Mr. Deepu, I want you to tell us what exactly is cloud computing to somebody like myself that probably is hearing it for the first time, and why did you choose that route as your speciality?
Okay, great question. So, on the simple terms, right, so when I say about the cloud, it's just a system where each person can access through internet, right? So, like an example, Google Drive. or your Facebook or your Instagram. So everything where you store your data is cloud. So it is in your tip of your fingers, like, you access Facebook or your drives. So it's basically like for everybody throughout the world, they can access in a simple way. Just they need is the internet. That's all. So the other terms, like, I can say is we don't need to maintain our own hardware or computers in our home or in our office to, to store these data or access these data across. So we have some clouds, storages or systems where we can easily access these data from across the globe. So that's on the layman terms I can say. So for a simple, a person, he can access data from anywhere without, spending money on his own computers or own systems. So that's the cloud computing for in simple way it means. Yeah.
I love how you explained it to me like a 5-year-old. Now I fully understand what cloud computing is. Thank you, Mr. Dipu. Now, why did you choose this route as your speciality in IT?
Okay, so to explain that, I just need to go back for a bit, in the olden days, right? So when we started with computers and stuff. So in 2000 and 2000 and those 2003, 2006. Those were the years where this computers or the technology, IT technology was emerging out with new innovations and new features and stuff. So we as the students, so we started learning about computers and stuff. That's why it was very new to us, and it was very exciting to us because the complete world was on behind of these computers and stuff. And we were hearing about this innovation. So that's where, that passion built up on, few of our friends. We started up learning about the computers and stuff, especially the hardware. So we started building up the new computers in our homes, and then, that's where, that passion came up. So we drive through it, and then slowly we got into, big companies like IBM and other big companies, where we started learning about the big infrastructure, IT infrastructures and stuff. So that was the starting phase which I started up on learning the computer, and the passion built up on on learning this new IT technologies. So on long run, it's been for me it's been now 20 years with this IT infrastructure or the cloud computing or all those terms. So back in 2010 and stuff, so where this cloud computing were emerging out. So that's where this cloud, what is the use of cloud, or how we can utilize the cloud resources or the computing resources. That's where we started. And I also got an opportunity working on these technologies starting from those days. So yeah, so there were not much of the competitors on those days. We had some AWS and Microsoft guys. So those were we started learning on this cloud computing. So and it is more related to our current work, which I was doing. So that's where my passion built up on this infrastructure. Yeah. So yeah, that was the thing.
Sure, very interesting. Now, Mr. Dipu, I want you to take us through the process of building a cloud system from scratch. What are some of the hardwares and softwares that you use?
Okay, so basically when I say about the cloud, right, so it has main two components. That is, as you said, it's hardware and it's the software components, right? So without these two, the cloud computing is not finished. So basically hardware, when I say on the IT infrastructure, any IT infrastructure, these components are very important. I can say the switching technologies, those are switches. The common, switching technologies are Cisco's or, Huawei switching technologies. And then we have some servers. In the layman terms, I can call as the servers or the computing, computing devices, right? That's the other component. And the most important component is the storage component. So these three are three different components, but work together to achieve this goal, right? So these are the three different main components on the hardware side. So apart from this, on the hardware side, right, there are called as networking features. We need to do a complete network between the one infrastructure to the other infrastructure. So that's also an important component on this cloud computing. On top of this, so once we have all this hardware being installed or being deployed onto a certain project, like if I say I'm doing a project, I need this cloud computing. So we build this hardware onto it, and on top of it, we build a cloud software. Okay, so when I say cloud software, it contains the operating system. It has its own operating system, and it manages the complete infrastructure, right? So this software is also very important. So when I say, as an example, I can give you like AWS. It has its own cloud software. Microsoft, call it Azure, so it has its own cloud software. And on my technology, which I'm working on Huawei, which is currently the big competitor in the world across, with AWS and Microsoft, they have their own cloud software called as HCS, Huawei Cloud Services. So this software goes onto this hardware, and this manages the complete infrastructure. So that's how we build the cloud environment.
Yeah. No, that is so complicated. I'm trying to listen to it. And how long would this usually take you?
So on the infrastructure side, right, so it usually takes between 2 months to build from the scratch to the top. So, and from the software side, it again takes around 60 days more. So to completely, hand over this environment to the customers.
Sure, that
right?
is.
But yeah, but there are some certain situations or scenarios, right? The timeline. So when customer comes to us and says, I have only this timeline, so can you guys do it? So currently, I'm doing a project for one of the telecom, the number one telecom company in South Africa. So for their billing system, it's like the Huawei cloud system which is going in there, right? So we have built this environment I can say in less than the complete environment was building in 60 days. Yes, 60 days it is built, and now I'm going to the next phase of migrating those their application onto my cloud environment. Yeah. So it depends on the situation and the scenarios, but on the normal situation, it takes at least 2 or 3 months minimum.
That is a lot of time, so I can imagine that you put in a lot of attention to detail during that time.
It's a lot of things goes on. So when I give an explanation, so it takes 5 minutes maybe to explain or 10 minutes, but in terms of putting things together, it takes some time, and there's a lot of things which we also need to do, to get these things done. Yeah.
I hear you. Now, what are some of your roles as a cloud specialist? And I know that you're also a project manager there by Huawei Technologies. What are some of your day-to-day roles in those, or responsibilities in that role?
Okay. So, the main responsibility is to understand my customer, right? So what is customer requirement? What is customer pain points in their day-to-day business? So that is my main goal. So how can I help them in getting those issues being resolved, or how can I resolve their the cost issues? Because nowadays the main concern is the OPEX cost or the operational cost which customer do deal with it, because there's lots of operational costs they have to cater for in every year. So we need to look on how we can reduce customers financial part as well as their day-to-day issues on their systems, right? If if there is so this is example which I gave you sometime before, which I'm building a new cloud environment. So customer had an issue. It was a previous again it was a Huawei cloud system, but the customer had an issue the complete infrastructure was getting end of life. That means there was no more support for that infrastructure. And it was a big risk for the customer because their application, their software are running on that system. And tomorrow, if something goes wrong and nobody is there to support, it was a big risk. So we did propose a new solution. That's where, we started up with the solution discussions and stuff. So, so that's how, we analyze the customer requirements. We speak to customer experts, from the customer side. We understand what their requirement is, how we can help them, how we can make this, system easier for them, basically. Yeah.
Interesting. Now, what was your first role or your first cloud storage system deployment in South Africa, and what hardware technologies did you use for it?
Yeah. So, so that's an interesting question for me because this is where, it brings, I came to South Africa for this, cloud deployment. So in 2017, so I was appointed to deploy a cloud system for one of the South African telecom company. And I had to travel from India and come down here and build this environment from the scratch. So I cannot, say which company, which we deployed it, but I can say we deployed it for telecom company's billing system, where all the billing for enterprise customers, right? So hospitals or insurance companies or any other big enterprise business. So the billing system runs over this cloud environment. So I can specifically say it's Huawei cloud environment, right? So every month the bills are generated automatically. So this was my first cloud project in South Africa. So it was a challenging project for me because I had to travel from India to South Africa, and it was a new environment for me, new customer, but it was welcoming for me. So I did enjoy those days working with South African colleagues here. There was a lot of supportive people because I was only the expert from India, but the rest of my team was all my South African colleagues. So those bunch of, I still remember, they were all a bunch of fresh graduates. They had a bunch of good knowledges, and it was fun, and at the same time it was the challenging project for me. Yeah.
So you love a good challenge, Mr. Deepu.
That's my day-to-day life. Because every day is a new challenge for us. And so that's where we come up, right? So challenges are there, and we need to come up with the good solutions and stuff for the customers or for us. Yeah, that's the thing. So without a challenge, there is no life for me now.
Absolutely. What is the relationship between AI and cloud computing?
Okay, so that's one of the other interesting things because AI is the now new evolution which has come up from past few years, right? So both of them, work end to end, right? Both AI, I can say, is the software part. Cloud computing is the infrastructure part, right? Which supports the AI. In more easier way, I can say the cloud computing, right? It provides the necessary infrastructure or necessary a platform to the AI software, right? So when I say cloud computing, right, other thing which I also wanted to emphasize is cloud computing is the infrastructure plus the software of the cloud, right? And then this compute infrastructure is given to an AI or to an application or to a software project team so that they can deploy the software onto this, right? Or the application onto this. Like AI is also one of the software which will be deployed onto the cloud computing. So basically, as it says, it's the partnership-driven evolution for both of them. So cloud computing and AI is a partnership. So both of them go end to end and very efficient towards to meet the end goal.
Interesting. So they work together. One exists because of the other.
Exactly. So without this thing, so what will happen? Still they can work independently, but the results will be not competent enough because nowadays just imagine you just open your Facebook, so you just immediately get all the information there, or you go to the Google, you get information there. So whatever you need, so it happens within a seconds, right? Within a click of a second. So because the cloud computing is the back-end device and AI is the software where it is working in the front end, and both work together and gives the results output. Yeah.
Sure. Now, how do you safeguard cloud information, and what are some of the threats that you deal with?
This is one of the common questions I get everywhere. So, whenever I go to speak to a person or to the customer, they say, "How do you save my the data? Because their data is very important. It cannot go out of cannot be given to any internet, right?" So, see, there are many precautions or significant features. It is being deployed. So when we say AI or the cloud computing or new evolutions and things which is happening across there is also new safeguard features which is coming up also. The security features, I need to put it as the security features, which is also which is also being innovated. Right. So some of the main things are strong access controls or the authentication process, right? So as you guys commonly, if I can put it, when you log into your bank account, so there are multiple authentication steps which everybody has to go through, right? It's same as here. So when somebody logs into a cloud environment, there is multiple authentication process, and the permissions and everything is encrypted there. So it's not that somebody can directly log in and get all the information, because it is encrypted. So only the person who is authenticated or who has the rights, he can see his data. And one more other thing is what we suggest is strongly to take the backup of their data. So what we usually do to our customers, right? So let's take, I put in my, I deploy cloud environment, and their customer applications or the softwares are running on the cloud environment. But how do you safeguard it? So let's take tomorrow there is a virus attack and the complete data is corrupted or being taken out. So that's where we put in the additional precaution where we take the backup of their data. Same way we take the backup of our phones, we also take the complete backup of their data, so that tomorrow if anything goes wrong, so we can restore this data from these backup things. That's one of the important part as well. But other important things also in the companies is that there is cybersecurity team where they 24/7 they monitor the environment, how to safeguard this environment. Is there any virus attack coming out? So they do that, and the regular patches or the same way when we do a patch upgrade on our phones. So we do patch upgrade. So we do put the software patches onto the servers, onto the softwares, so that no new virus can come in and attack on this or attack our customer environment. So there are multiple teams which work across on the security topologies. So main guys are cyber security, the authentication teams. So they are watching 24/7. So you are basically the data is safe on the cloud computing. So I can say data is more safer in cloud computing than in the normal environment. Yeah.
Interesting. Now, can I, as an individual and not a business, be able to use cloud services just in general?
Yes. So one of the cloud services, for the business or the individual, right? If I say for an individual, where we use the Google Drive, that's one of the cloud services which Google offered to any person, right, who has a Google account. So that's where you can store your data, you can buy some of the storage space and store your data. But onto the business, when it comes, it becomes more bigger, or more infrastructure is required. So that's where they analyze what infrastructure is needed. Based on that, we can negotiate with the cloud service providers and get the service from them.
I can imagine. Sure, go ahead, sir.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I don't say it is very cheap, but when I compare deploying our own infrastructure, right? If a business owner want to deploy his own infrastructure, it is very expensive. It goes through a very financial process. It's huge. So when the small businesses, it's good to have go to approach a cloud resource provider and use whatever he wants. It's not that he has to buy everything at a time. Whatever is needed based on his requirement, he can opt it. Yeah.
This is such vital information, Mr. Deepu, that you're sharing with us, especially for people like us who are really lay people when it comes to this industry. Now, how do you keep up with the changes in cloud infrastructure? I can imagine that, it's forever changing. It's always evolving.
Yeah, it's like every day evolving, right? So new things comes up every day. So we have to keep up. So I can say an example, right? I'm just giving an example. So we have a cloud infrastructure, right? So we do have our R&D, in China HQ, right? So this is our in the world. This is the second largest R&D in the world. First is the Google, and second is us, Huawei has its own R&D in China, and they do develop lot of new evolutions. Whatever new features are coming out in any part of the world. So it will be R&D guys, they do check it, and it's developed in 2 or 3 days, depending on what software, what patches has to be there. So it is the day-to-day activity for us. There are certain teams looking out for what new features can be deployed into the AI. So now it's already we have AI, but what is next in the AI? So there is features coming up on AI itself. So there is very aggressive developments on day-to-day evolution which is happening back in our R&D teams. Yeah.
And what are some of the most challenging programs or projects that you've ever had to work on?
So I can say one of the challenging projects was I worked when I was working in India. I worked for the company, France-based company, right? So where I had to travel to Finland, but that was challenging because I was dealing with the defense of Finland. Right, so you know how secure the data is in the defense. Any country's defense is most secure data, right? So I had to bring in all the data from their own infrastructure to our infrastructure. So it was a very, very massive project, and I did have a lot of challenges those days when I worked with the defense of Finland. But it was quite interesting because how secured, it goes back to your question, right? How secure your data will be. So that was one of the challenging projects for me, yeah. So we had to move all the complete infrastructure plus the data to our infrastructure and secure it. So it was quite, and we also got awarded best service after 3 years of this migration which was completed, yeah.
And how can you advise a person? Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, that was one of my challenging projects, yeah.
Okay, it sounds very challenging, especially because for you that was also a foreign country.
Yes, so especially because it was a defense data, so yeah.
Yeah. Now, how can you advise a person wanting to get into this field, or maybe somebody that's already in the IT space but wants to get into your specific speciality? What are some of the biggest challenges, some shortcomings, but also what are the good sides of doing what you do in this field?
Okay, see, so I, as a person, to the new generation guys who are want to come into this technology, right? See, for sure, I can say this is a newer technology and it will be forever, right? So there will be new features or new evolutions coming in. But for the guys who want to do it, so they need to have the passion on this, right? It's not in a day or in a month or in a year, 2 or 3 years, you'll learn everything on this. It will take some time. You need to give your time for this, study, and these technologies are it's not back in days when I was studying out. So every day there are new features, new things coming up. So you need to be frequently looking out for the things. You need to be up to the market. So you need to refresh your knowledge on a day-to-day basis. So that's one challenge. But the other side of this is there's lots of new features which we have. So, for example, I can say the cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is a part of the cloud feature, right? But by its own, it's a different team. It's a different set of team who's working on it. So, the backup, it's also a different set of team. Authentication is a different set of team. Hardware is a different set of team working. So that means you have lots of opportunities across this field where you can figure it out, right? So it's not only thing is you have to be very passionate about it. Otherwise, this subject will be it's not about making money on this. If you are passionate and you learn things, the money will come to you. And I can strongly say I can see my colleagues or we also do the graduate programs and stuff. We also recruit lots of graduates. There are students they're very passionate. They do day and night. They put their complete effort onto this learning the things. It's all about learning. So if you're passionate about the the new evolution, new innovations and stuff on the IT infrastructure side, this is a very good field. I can say it's a very good field.
I see that you're also very passionate about it, Mr. Deepu.
This was for me, I say, for us, the computers were very new when we started up, right? So it was, for us it was something, a toy, which we got it newly. And we had to, unpack it, learn it. So that's how that passion developed. And, we were a bunch of my friends, we worked towards this. All of my, I can see my friends across, they're all across the world and they're all into the same field till now. Because it was all our passion which driven us till here.
Oh, that is amazing, Mr. Deepu. Thank you so much for such an informative and for sharing such intricate information about what you do, as well as some of your projects, and just getting to know you and your work has been so interesting. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for hosting me, and good luck, man.
Thank you so much. Have a lovely Sunday.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye. That was Mr. Deepu Jacob talking to us about all things cloud speciality, which is what he does at Huawei Technologies. And he was just really sharing with us the ins and outs of it, the advantages, disadvantages, challenges, of the field. And, from today's conversations, I am really learning that there is so much that goes into tech. There are so many little corners that we might not be aware of, and that just speaks to the wide variety of careers you can get into within the field. We're going to sum up what we've been doing in a bit. Let's take a short musical break. When we come back, we do a summary and a conclusion of our show, and we get ready for what's coming on the other side of 12 o'clock.
Tech Africa on Channel Africa, the African perspective. And Nompumelelo Ngubeni. Tame Ngubeni talks money. Africa in business. 4 till 5 p.m. 5 till 6. We put on a little bit more color. Vue d'Afrique with Joel Moteba. We go to East and Central Africa and find Darubinia Africa with I Am Shakif. Madapiri gives us some life. Zochitika. 7 till 8 p.m. Maria Mokumalo comes in 8 till 9. We get some useful knowledge. Kalodiscopia, 9 till 10. We take a look in Africa and beyond. Africa World Hour with Sipiso Makwetla. And we close it up with some love. The Hotlines with Shailen Dikumana, 10 till 12 p.m. on Channel Africa. Across borders, across time zones. On air, online. This is Channel Africa. Africa has a voice, and that voice is Channel Africa. It keeps you in motion, speaking, singing, questioning, rising. Wake up with Rise and Shine 6 till 9. Peter and Asanda as they bring you breaking news, sharp analysis, and the voices that shape the day. At mid-morning, we get on the move with Palisa and Benjamin, digging into the African lifestyle, people, and the things that make Africa smile. 12 till 1, Africa Update with Lulu Kabu, getting in-depth, powerful stories, and the perspective you won't hear anywhere else. The Upside, 1 till 4, live and real.
Yeah, 12 o'clock. Oh my goodness, I can't believe how quickly time flies. Were we not just saying good morning to each other just a little bit ago and talking about how the next 3 hours is going to be amazing? And now we're here having to say goodbye to each other. I don't know how you feel, but I'm not okay. I am not okay because I was really enjoying the time and the conversations that we were having, right? Like I said, it is now 4 minutes actually before top of the hour. It's been a great 3 hours of informative and educational conversations with great music in between, of course. In the first hour, we spoke to Mr. Adil Al Yusuf, who is the CEO of Africa Data Centers. We then spoke to Mr. Tumelo Mabasha about the evolution of IT in the education and business space over the past decade. And we also spoke to Mr. Taripani Banks, who is the founder and CEO of Analytics X, as well as Spaza Eats. And we ended the show, of course, right now with a conversation with Mr. Deepu Jacob, who is a cloud specialist at Huawei Technologies. And that brings us to the end of our 3 hours of Tech Africa. Please do stand by for Planting the Seed with Mateko, which is going to be heading us until the other shows then come and they take over your Sunday as we lead you to your Monday and start a new week for you. Thank you so much for choosing us and for chilling with us. My name is Inno Manchidi. I was with Francis. Abuti Francis Sebatong, thank you so much. Ofoleli flu area Abut Francis Masila, and I was of course with Nosipo Zuma. That was on news, and it is now time for me to move over for Planting the Seed and wish you a lovely week ahead. From me, it is goodbye. Have a great week ahead. Dijone a.
And Nompumelelo Ngubeni. Tame Ngubeni talks money. Africa in business. 4 till 5 p.m. 5 till 6. We put on a little bit more color. Vue d'Afrique with Joel Moteba. We go to East and Central Africa and find Darubinia Africa with I Am Shakif. Madapiri gives us some life. Zochitika. 7 till 8 p.m.